Hello and welcome to FSL Showdown presented by Intel. We've got a two-day tournament which is going to showcase the participants from FSL VALORANT Open 1 through 5 of 2020. My name is Holler and I'm with Hey, I'm Quack. How are you doing today?
Doing good, dude. I mean, just watching that intro video, I love this new aesthetic. It's like watercolor splash art or something. It's wonderful. And of course, your familiar face was in the intro video. I haven't earned that spot yet, but
yeah, I mean, you'll get in this soon enough. Once we start doing live events, I think it's going to change up everything. Obviously, we're kind of stuck in these weird times where everything is kind of offline in that sense. But once we start doing the live events, it's going to be great, and we're going to be happy to have you. You're going to be able to feel the ambiance of the crowd and the energy and everything and all the hype that's going to happen. So a lot of great stuff there. And also with this one, which happens to be strictly online, and this one, what it's done, it's a little bit of a different format in the sense that we have 8 players. They were selected as captains. And then they end up being, how do you put up these teams? You pretty much, everyone else in the pool is just randomly assigned to a captain and then the team, right? So it's a completely different thing in the sense that these are players that have been stuck together for, I think, about a week or so. So in terms of practice, they've only had just a little bit of time. So there's going to be a little bit of a difference in that sense. So they're not going to be that well-oiled machine that we're used to seeing, so to speak. And so before we go into that, we had the teams and we had the players all signed up and everybody could see exactly what the teams were going to be consisting of. But we actually had a poll to see which team everybody at home thought was going to be the favorite here.
Yeah, we'll just take a look at that in a second. Here we go. It seems like, do you have any thoughts on this, Holler?
To be honest, I was kind of impressed just kind of going in. I think with some of the clips that we saw with Team GG and the fact that they were like already trash talking and some of the clips and everything like that, and they're doing a great job in terms of the content that's provided. I think that they were a favorite in that sense.
Yeah, for sure.
So I just love the fact that we had these types of polls, the fact that like teams are calling each other out already, and it's only been like a week of just playing with the guys. So it's very interesting in how they're going to do this.
I mean, they've been playing in these FSL Valorant Opens for the past year, so I'm pretty sure they're rather familiar with each other, especially within the Southeast Asian region. But it's definitely fun to see, the things that they were saying in the captains. I think showreel videos. Nicole G was saying something like, "Oh, join my team, Team GG, because we're gonna call GG early." Haha.
That means that either they're gonna give up early or they're gonna make the enemy, because you got to make the enemy team call GG first, right?
Well, that's true. That's true. But you know what? It was really adorable. It was really cute. Definitely earned my vote there. We're gonna have to see though. The first match up of the day. I mean, talking about the format, right? This is best of 3 single elimination. Did I hear that right? Single elimination.
Single elim. Yeah, so you don't really have much of a choice. So basically, okay, there's 2 things about this, right? One is that there's only 8 teams. So if you win one series, you're guaranteed to be in the money. And so let's have a quick breakdown of the prize pool.
Yeah, prize pool total of 1,000 SGD, $1,000. That's pretty good. And also, of course, it's all brought to you by Intel. Let's break it down. First place, it's 500. Second, 300, short of 200, not too bad. Third and fourth, you already guarantee yourself $100.
Yeah. So basically, you win two matches. And then you're guaranteed this money. I mean, at the end of the day, I could play like 100 games of ranked games, and I would not be seeing any of this money. So this is really great in that sense. Although I probably wouldn't be winning any of those ranked games, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, well, it is what it is. We just got to play together a little bit more, right, Holler? But, yeah, first matchup of the day. It's going to be GG versus GWTF. I think that stands for go with the flow, right?
I think there are different interpretations of what that can stand for. But Team GG, okay, one thing is that you could call it GG as in good game. In Korean, GG actually means dirty. Something that's like kind of gross and don't touch that. That's GG, which is like, so that could be another interpretation. I don't know what sort of team this is going to be. Are they going to be that team that's making the other team call GG early, or they're going to be the dirty one that's kind of really not to that level?
Huh, that's interesting. I was thinking like dirty as in they got like tricks up their sleeves or something. They're going to be playing dirty,
Again, it could be interpreted many different ways. I know that if I was calling my own team GG, I would want it to be more positive and not like, oh, I'm a dirty cheater type, right? But nonetheless, we know the players. We know what's going on. Anybody that kind of sticks out to you other than the captain?
Love that you asked that for me. So Nicole G, she used to play for this team called Fulcrum Valkyrie in the previous FSL Valorant Opens. And on the other hand, the opposing team captain, Makasi, she played for this team called Affinity Esports. And she's the one that kind of has been, she has had a more dominant showing in the previous FSL games. They have made it out of group stages. They've had a little bit of success towards the end of the games, but unfortunately they didn't really place first, second, or third in those previous ones. But we'll have to see how that plays out. Talking about the team rosters, on the other hand, go with the flow. That's kind of the name of the game for this entire FSL Valorant showdown because, you know, there haven't really been with these players for a long time, right? Like you said earlier on, it was only about maybe a week or so. But on GWTF, Ash S is actually Makasi's teammate from her Valorant team. So I don't know. It might be a little bit rigged. I know these players were randomly assigned, but they have some experience there. Nicole G, on the other hand, her teammates are completely random. She has not played with them before.
Okay. And, I mean, it's like luck of the draw type of thing. These are things that are going to happen. But at the same time, this is really great because you have the opportunity to play with players that you've never played with. So you can kind of learn. And if you know that these guys are a team, you can start stealing some strategies, some you know what I mean, some sort of ideas, call outs, all these things that you can kind of pick up on, right? Which kind of brings up to the next part, which is going to be the FSL Valorant circuit, which is going to start this year. It's going to be March 2021. So those are going to be with the set teams, and that we're going to have a whole structure, and this is all kind of building up to that. So are you looking to steal information from these guys? Are you what is your plan if you're looking to play? Or are you just looking to just win money?
I mean, of course you're looking to win money. I mean, that's what competitive gaming is all about. But of course, that's kind of the name of the game. It's all about adapting to your opponents, right? You're maybe not so much stealing strats, but you want to kind of get a feel for what your opponent's trying to go for. And then you come up with the counter strats to go up against that.
Okay. So I'm going to see that. But, okay, the only issue is that you're assigned randomly. So there might be a lot of people that are stuck together like, oh, I'm a Sentinel player, as are you. You know what I mean? So one of us has to change. Like, it could be a potential for a disaster. Now, that said, I think that this level, though, is that, you know, you're kind of able to play multi-role. I don't think that we're kind of, you know, stuck into playing one or, you know, the other ones. But it's going to be interesting to see how the teams and the players react and, you know, how they divide the roles.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what this entire FSL Valorant showdown is all about. It's kind of like that appetizer before this FSL Valorant circuit that's coming up soon. So if you want to keep your eyes out for that, like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Twitch page, all that fun stuff. But of course, that's what it's about. So it's kind of that appetizer. You want to keep your eyes out. It's all about encouraging more female gamers to participate and compete in Valorant esports and stuff like that. So they'll really be able to explore and then spread their wings, try out different roles. I mean, maybe you're used to playing duelist, but this time, maybe you're going to have to try out something else like a Sentinel or something.
Okay. I mean, you talk about the fact that this is just an appetizer. I don't look at it like this. I look at it more as like a full-course meal. Right? Because we're going to see everything. We're going to see a grand finals tomorrow. It's going to be a 2-day event.
Oh, yeah.
If anything, the March event will be like, you know, a Chinese New Year, you know, dinner or whatever. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be something special, and that's going to be there. But we have a great meal that's coming up to that.
Oh, yes.
So you will still be hungry for more Valorant, no matter what day it is and what's going on. And so that's going to be a great opportunity to see these players really just shine.
All those meals. It's a full-on buffet, dude. I want as much Valorant action as I can get.
Yeah, and so we're going to have a look at that. That's coming up. We have a lot going on. The players are starting to get loaded up now. But mind you, a lot of the players that were going on from the last one, we saw the Valorant Open, the FSL Open, that is. It went from July last year to November, and that was kind of an epic journey in league, and, you know, we had like a round robin and everything like that. Who was the victor? And just kind of give the viewers at home a little bit of a recap.
Oh, yes. It's this really easy for me. I mean, having casted the previous FSL Valorant Opens, the contender for first place is definitely Team Mello right now in this FSL showdown. That is led by Kohaibi. You know, she's a local Singaporean player. She plays with a really high sensitivity, so that's kind of odd, but she makes it work, and her team has always fought for that first place spot in the FSL Valorant Opens. Unfortunately, though, they didn't really make it to the first place. They always ended up getting second. The ones that were getting first place was this team called Celeste, led by by Aneri right now in this FSL showdown. I think her team name is Team Mozzarella.
All right, okay, I'm a little offended by this team and the name just because of the fact that I'm actually lactose intolerant, right? Other than that, I think it's a great idea just kind of moving forward with it. But okay, back to the fact that you were talking about sensitivity, right? Do you know the exact number, roughly?
Don't really know the exact number. I think our producer, Jonathan, will be able to bring that up. But it's something like, most players will play with 0.4, 0.5. Hers was like a 1 point something, and her mouse DPI is something of 1,000 over.
Really? Okay, so I'm more of like an RTS guy, right?
Sure.
Or, MOBA, that style. So, like, you need a fast one. And so I was kind of up in that area, but then I would try to play first-person shooters, and my flicks would be amazing. But the thing is that I could never hit the guy in front of me.
Exactly. Right? That's what high sensitivity does.
Yes.
You might be able to hit the flicks, but when it comes to these really micro adjustments, the ones that are really, really tiny, you want to adjust, you want to track, it's so difficult, but she makes it work. So that's one that we have to watch out for the rest of the day. But right now, we're coming up into it. The very first map is going to be Split. And this one is going to be interesting because of the recent patches, right? They had the whole Split rework. Any thoughts on that?
I think it's a little bit more evened out. I think it was previously a little bit defensive favored. I think that they've kind of taken out some of the hiding spots, so to speak. Things are a little bit more of an angle so you can kind of see where things are going. I think it's more... I don't know. I like the map. I think it's a little bit more balanced. I think that these are good changes in the future.
Definitely good. I mean, like you said, right, that was really heavily defender-sided, so they've cut out some corners that were favoring the defensive side, towards defender spawn as well. They took out these 50-50 angles. They made it such that the height elevation was a little bit easier so that you don't have to worry about vertical crosshair placement as much. Things like that. Corners were taken out. So as an attacker, when you're pushing onto sites, you don't have to worry so much. Like, do I always have to check my back? Do I always have to pull off a 180-degree flick?
Yeah.
But so that's going to be easier. But aside from that, we have to look at the team roster right now, the agent selections. This is interesting to me because Mikasi usually goes for the Omen role, the smoker. This time she's hovering over Raze, and I think they've locked that in.
All right, so one thing that we've kind of seen, even with the patches, and they've been numerous buffs in that sense to Sage, but generally speaking, people still consider her somewhat lower tier.
A little bit, right?
Right. She's not. I mean, she's like the heal is great, and I think I think she's far superior to Skye in that sense. But I think that in terms of like the ultimate is like one of the best things, the best ult in the game, right? But the thing is that like she's been nerfed quite a bit. But why the wall on Split?
That's a good question. Why the wall? And that is one that I have to answer because I think the wall is rather underrated. It is a wall. Sure, it has been nerfed in the past. You can shoot it down really easily or knife it or what have you. On a map like Split, especially with the rework, the spots that you can get up to, the spots that you can block off, especially if you're a defender, that is just going to provide you with so much utility. It's a really great tool, and not to mention, you can hide around the corners of the walls. It's basically, you're erupting a brand new obstacle in the entire game on the whole map where players might not expect you to be hiding.
Okay, all right. I mean, it makes sense here, and it kind of. I mean, the mid area is just so important on Split, right? So just having that and just making sure that you're kind of covered is definitely great. Now it looks like it's going to be GWTF. I might even say the inappropriate word just because of that. When I see those letters next to each other, you have. There's no stopping me. So I'm going to apologize in advance. That said, it looks like they're going to be the attackers first. A little bit of a pause in the action before we go, though, but. I guess, is there any sort of thing that you're looking to do on the attack, especially in the first round?
And that's the thing that you definitely want answered. On a map like Split, you can see the way the entire map is kind of laid out. As an attacker, you already have an ult orb that's kind of just given to you. It's right in front of your face. It's staring at you. It's fairly safe for you to pick it up, and that is in B Garage. You can just smoke off the entrance of B Garage from the defender side, pick up the ult orb for free. It's a really tough one for the defenders to contest. For attackers, it's really easy for you to pick up. On the other side, though, over on A, that's one that's kind of up for grabs. It's sort of defenders can pick it up, attackers can pick it up too. It's the one that you have to contest for, and that is why you definitely want to have some presence on the A site. But looking at the way these teams are playing, I think Team GG is seemingly going towards B.
Yeah, it looks that way right now. I mean, it's still kind of hard to say because we have a bit of
yeah.
TC, and so we don't really know exact movements at this moment. But okay, let's talk a little bit about agent discrepancies, right? You have Sage on both, Killjoy on both, Omen as well. I think that's pretty stock standard. Reyna as well, but the only difference is going to be Raze versus the Jett. What are your opinions on that?
See, that is a very good thing for you to bring up, and that is one that I think might very well be the deciding factor between these two teams. And not to mention, the Jett player and the Raze players, they are respectively the captains of both teams. So it's kind of this duel of the captains right here that we have going on. Nicole G on Jett. You know, it's kind of a given. Jett, you have the mobility. It allows you to open up sides really easily. And especially on attack, this is why Nicole G, she might have that edge up over Makasi. Makasi, I've seen her play a lot more Omen, a lot more of the controller, smoker rule. But right now on Raze, it really depends on how she sources out information with her boombot, as well as making use of her paint shells, right? If she's able to hide behind cover, really lock off areas or secure kills with those abilities, then she'll be able to do a lot more. But when it's on attack, you know, she will have to be able to use those blast packs to their maximum effectiveness. If she doesn't really, you know, find those entries as well as Nicole G will be able to do so on Jett, that's going to be a little bit tougher for them on attack.
Yeah, that's going to be my only concern right now is just getting onto the site, right? Jett is just so quick, just, you know, the smokes, the dashes.
It's so easy.
Just on top,
press one button, you're dashing in.
I mean, you're completely on, and it can provide a lot of just kind of catching people off guard because it's just so quick, right? So you have that potential, and that's great. But you have the Raze on the other end. Obviously, there's a lot of tight corridors, so you can potentially get some value out of this, and you can get that chip damage, which kind of starts you off. And then that kind of goes into why we brought the Sage in terms of healing and to counteract all of this. So a lot of the synergies are starting to show.
Absolutely right, and that is the one that we want to see. So it's very crucial for Team GWTF and Makasi. It's very important for them to gain as many rounds as possible on defense, because if they don't, they're going to have a tougher time on attack. I mean, dashing as a Jett versus blast packing around as a Raze, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more difficult if you're a Raze. But you did bring up a very good point, the chip damage, right? The way that you're able to clear out corners and angles, it's definitely an important tool as well. So we'll see how this one plays out, but for now, it looks like we already have a very early shot down onto B Garage, and this is what I'm talking about. It's a free alt-door, but they can push right in. It looks like they've already pushed back the defenders all the way into their spot.
And this is the power of the Killjoy. You kind of have one site kind of on semi-lockdown, and now here we go. The Lear is going to start. Nicole's get the first blood. Oh no, Mashang actually steals that kill. Nice little headshot from Makase with a nice little paint shells, kind of starting things off. The blast pack kill as well. Makase's making some plays, and he's going to look to throw that one over the wall. Mashang does need to be a little careful. It gets picked off as well. Makase with another kill. And he's looking to just kind of go for the defuse. They back off here.
Oh my gosh, Makashi, she's going on a tear. Unfortunately, gets shut down by Karena, but Sexy Lanches is going to be the one to seal the deal. And that was a little bit chaotic towards the end, but you can definitely see Makasi, she knows what she's doing. The other team, GWTF, they tried to, GG, sorry. They tried to make a play towards Garage, but things just kind of fell apart. I think Nicole G's dash got blocked at some point as well, so it's kind of these little kinks that they need to iron out towards the start of the games. Like you said, you know, we talked about this before. They kind of only had about a week or so to play with each other, so there are definitely these little moments where you'll just bump into each other a little bit, and they need to work on this team synergy if they want to perform better in these rounds. I mean,
you've had a week to play with one another. I don't know, like, roughly how long would you consider an ample amount of time to be like, okay, now I understand how this person plays, we're going to play well together. Like, what roughly would you give that?
I mean, you definitely want as much experience as possible, right? 1 week, it's pretty good, you know, if you're playing every day, depending how many hours you go here and there. But of course, I think, to answer your question, a month. I would definitely want a month so that you really lock down your roles, you know your strategies. But, you know, that's not even a question because Komochi right now is just going to find a first frag on the Sexy Lanches because he comes back in with a trade, though.
Yeah, nice little stinger play. The value of that weapon is just so amazing, especially with the recent changes in 2.02. just the amount of recoil that it provides. But it looks like they've got this one. They've slowed down the assault here, and it looks like they might be doing a retreat and maybe a little bit of a ASHS just was peeking, making sure that he's there, and he does hold that line. Just holding down, making sure that there's no rotation.
That is just absolutely smart plays from Ash. She goes in for another, looking for the last kill right now, but gets taken out by Savinani instead. Makasi will be the one to answer back, and that is how the story goes. 2-0 to start off from GWTF.
Yeah, Ash was by herself, and everyone is thinking, oh man, somebody needs to call an ambulance for her, but she's like, no, I need to call an ambulance, but for them. And she gets a 3K on that one. Nice round to kind of start things off. And we've got 2-0 lead going the way of GWTF.
And that is just how you want to play the macro game. You know, as a player like Ash S, she's the one who's kind of been she's Makasi's team member. I mean, from Affinity Esports. So they kind of already know how these games will play out. They know that if they hear shots towards A ramps, you know, it's pretty much safe passage for me. I can push down mid and lock off the rotates, which is exactly what GG tried to do towards the end. They tried to make a rotate happen, but this time, let's see, it's going to be a push down mid. We have the walls, we have the Sage Orbs to slow things down, but of course GG has the rifles this time. So GWTF, they need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, they need to be careful. The Boombot here is going to provide a little bit of vision, realizing that somebody's going to be there. Nicole's going to look to just smoke it and go through the mailroom and into B tower now. Another smoke here. And it looks like she's kind of got this site, which she thinks is pretty comfortable. I think that B site is pretty set, but player's on the bottom.
Player is on the bottom. Have to be wary of that one. They will be able to get the site and gain control, getting the spike down, but Kokochi just locking out the rotates, making sure that they won't be able to make their way onto the side now. Makasi with the Spectre trying to make a play towards B Heaven. She knows that there's another player on the other end of that hallway, but trying to trade out for the rifle, gets caught with her pants down.
It's interesting because she threw out the blast pack because she thought that that would scare somebody away, if anything. But I mean, just like you can just kind of stand that, basically absorb that damage because it's not that much. But look at the trade the gun. That was a very interesting timing.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, interesting to say the least. You can see what she's trying to go for. Maybe even blast pack to push her opponent away, but. It's at the very end, you're kind of exposing yourself to enemy fire, and that's why you don't want to have happening. Of course, this is a very standard strat across the start from GWTF. You have the Sage wall up by mid. It's going to draw a little bit of ammunition from GG, but at the end of the day, it's all about getting information. You have the wall up, and then you know there are players over my mid. It's kind of, they're trying to get a feel for each other, trying to establish map presence right now.
Yeah, and like, in a way, if you're not going to go mid, I'm wondering if you should even just fire at the wall, right? Because you can kind of, if you play quietly, you play possum, so to speak, in the sense that maybe you're going, hard A or hard B, but Ash there with a nice kill. She's been on point all day today.
Exactly. She already got that early information with the early peek, and then all she needed to do was just back off. Once she has that angle pre-aimed, it's a very simple counter-strafe pick for her, but of course right now, Claire is the other one to answer back, and GG are down by 2 members. That is going to be painful.
Yeah, and it looks like they've kind of lost in terms of how they approach this. GG, that is. They haven't really been able to find an opening. The defense has been on point. Yes, they're spread all around, but they haven't been able to overload a site and just kind of control it.
Here.
Yeah, this is really tough. You can hear the wall coming up by mid as well, and this signals the Faith. She knows there are players towards B Heaven right now. All she needs to do is hold this off angle. She spots one out, gets the first, looks for the second with the headshot. And now it's all up to Savignani, but she cannot do anything as she is completely surrounded.
Yeah, and it's funny because Faith was just like holding that line, but she ended up killing her clone, and her clone actually didn't make the call out because her teammate had no idea she was still on that roof.
Yeah, and that is kind of a rookie mistake. Yeah. Anytime you're pushing out of E Heaven, you gotta clear your corners. There's almost always guaranteed someone hiding on the other side of that rafters, but you have to be careful. You can see this is where that kind of teamwork is playing out right now. The defenders, they have this inherent advantage. All they got to do is just wait for the push to go through. Meanwhile, I think Makasi and Ash, they have been playing together for some time. They know each other's tendencies, but wow, this is just a very nice entry frag from Komochi right now. This should give them the B site.
Yeah, they've You've got the smoke here, and so Faith is not able to draw a beat on anybody, and they've got the site on lockdown. The spike is going to go down. This is a really nice play. Just making sure you got that early pickoff on Ash, and then now you have full control, and it's a matter of just defending the spike.
See if they will be able to do so, however. Faith is going to take down the wall, allowing the Boombot to push through. This is big information. They know that there are at least 2 players on the other side of it. Makassi's just going to go right in with the blast pack. Unfortunately, gets taken down. It's going to be trades all across the board. Karena as well as NicoleG trying to do what they can. She's going in with the knives. She wants those right clicks. She's going to get them, and the res is not even necessary as NicoleG just does everything.
Yeah, Captain is really showing up. I mean, we've seen this throughout. Makasi as well, NicoleG on that round, just really turning it up right now. And this is what we really wanted. We wanted to see very competitive, high-level Valorant, and just people just showing up today.
That is absolutely right. However, I have to say, Makasi, what were you going for back there? Just blast packing into the site. A little bit of a Hail Mary. Unfortunately, I think her teammates weren't there to follow up, and it really just allowed NicoleG to do whatever she pleases with those knives. Right now, a different strategy coming through. Looks like NicoleG, I think if she is playing the in-game leader role, she probably made the call to make a push towards A after having gone towards mid, towards B for the previous rounds. So for Team GWTF right now, they might be actually conditioned to thinking that the push is going to be on B again.
And Makasi here, this is one of those things when you're playing with like not as familiar teammates versus people that you've played with on a team, because when you're with a team, you're really like, all right, let's go, 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 and then people, you just come in screaming in, guns blazing, and then your team's going to back you up. But where this one is like, why is that person screaming, and why is that person going in and suiciding? Like, they're crazy, right?
Yeah, that is really, really unfortunate. I mean, definitely don't want to be screaming at your teammates, but it's all in good fun right now. And it's all about, like I said before, adaptability. They're trying to get a feel for each other. I mean, these are only the first 5 rounds. We still got 7 more towards the end of the first half. And they're already trying to see and figure out, okay, we know that the Killjoy usually plays towards A. We know that Sage tends to put her wall up really, really early towards mid. And this is how they'll be able to figure out these different holes in the defensive sides. And they will be able to formulate a strategy off of that. I mean, with a wall on mid, like you said before, you could just play possum, right? Sneak right by it, maybe even just shoot it down. Or maybe, since there is a Sage towards mid, maybe you can use utility to lock her out somewhere and really take her down. And that'll open up B Heaven. A lot of different ways you can play around these strategies. But right now, it looks like they want to make a play towards A.
And you talk about tendencies, and the Killjoy there has been placing their on A almost every single round. Do you ever look to swap that?
I think you might, because Killjoy on B is a pretty strong position as well. But I stand corrected, Makasi. That is painful.
Yeah, a little bit of heat there, just getting caught out, and here we go. They've got it on lockdown. CSS Claire is the last one. She gets picked off as well. The rotations are happening, and they're down 3-5. This is going to be a very difficult overtake. Spike being planted.
Spike down, Sexy Man just goes in for the peak. This might be a flawless victory for Team GG right now. Call in the GGs because they are absolutely dominating in this round. Every single angle, every single position where GWTF might have been hiding in, NicoleG knew exactly where to look. Especially with the operator, it's just such a strong tool. Pairing that up with a Jet as well, it's just so strong. Now they know A side is fairly weak, and it's going to be a tough round for GWTF. I think they're on eco as well, so it looks like they just want to go for this strong 3-man push down mid, perhaps.
And while you talk about eco, it looks like Makasi is still going to go with the Stinger, which has still tremendous value. The only issue is that you're overcommitting. Oh my gosh, Ash just peeking out, getting picked off by NicoleG. Just completely owning with the op right now.
Yeah, this feeling, I know it all too well. Every time you have an operator on the other team, but Makasi has her locked down this time. Stinger coming in play. Operator out of the game. And they know that they're somewhere behind that Sage wall, all backed up towards Garage. This is going to give free reign for GWTF to make some plays. Claire taking Komochi down. That's a free rifle. Now Makasi trying to stop the plant, but unfortunately it will still go through. 2v2 right now as Claire makes another play happen.
Yeah, but this is a win no matter what, right? The fact that it was an econ round and you've gotten 3 pickoffs is tremendous value. Yeah, he's got the spike there. Nobody's actually going to look to plant it. The alarm bot is going to be placed and destroyed. And it looks like they're going to not overcommit for this. Oh, and for the peek out, Makasi's going to try to make a play here, but I don't know if there's enough time. Paint Shell's covering the tracks. It looks like she's going to go for the defuse here. That's going to be the zoning, but Karena, like a little fox, sneaking around. Is she able to do it? And she does get the pick off and makes Makasi pay.
And that is, you know, like you said, it's already a win. They did as tremendous economical damage, but Karena towards the end there securing the round for her team. Very, very good job. Almost missed, but she knew exactly how to play that 1v1. Hearing the paint shells going towards Garage, it kind of signaled to her. She knew that Makasi thought that she was somewhere towards that area, possibly hiding towards the backside of Garage. No, instead she's just going to circle around the pillars and catch Makasi off guard. It's perfect plays, but of course, the dangerous one to watch out for here is NicoleG. She still has that operator.
Yeah, I mean, this is the amount of winning that she's got. She's got a decent amount of money as well, so she should be fine. Unfortunately, that last round, which didn't do too much to Nicole, because she's been kind of rolling throughout this entire round.
Yeah, you can definitely see the fear that she instills on GWTF sides as well. I mean, knowing that there was an operator in the previous round, knowing that there probably is one this round as well, they know that they can't really peek anymore. Anytime they do so, they might get taken out. So all they got to do is to hide and just wait for a signal from Team JIJI. And that shot down mid very well might be the one to do so. I mean, now they might be thinking it's going to be a push towards mid, but look at this. All four are towards ramps. Player's going to be one to spot them out. This is going to be information. Just the rotate should be coming through right now. But of course, the site control probably relegated on over onto Team JIJI.
Yeah, but they've got the high ground, so it's going to be a little bit difficult in terms of how they approach this one. Nicole here is just like praying for somebody just peek ahead, like just around the corner. The boom bot is not going to scout it.
30 seconds left.
And she just shoots blind, and here we go. The first lockdown of the day. And yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a zoning one.
Spike planted.
Oh, well, it does zone him out, but Makasi, she's just going to make more plays happen. A lot of frags happening across the board right now, but NicoleG is going to be the one to take her down, winning that Catbone's duel. Faith trying to sneak around it. She spots the off barrel, but Komochi has NicoleG's back. And Saxy Lanches does get a frag. 1v3 scenario. What can she do here, Holler?
Paranoia going through. She's trying to make her way around. I don't think she's actually going to go for the spike. She has no idea where she is. She gets paranoid at herself. She's going to just look to hold the fort. And is she able to outduel her? No! And Mishang makes her pay.
Ouch. That is just not happy at all for Team GWTF. It's a tough one. Absolutely tough. You can see NicoleG, she's kind of playing with GWTF the way that she was making noise towards mid, establishing some presence, making them think it's going to be a B hit. But instead, there were 4 members just lurking towards A ramps, and of course, Claire was the one to spot them out first, but unfortunately was unable to stop them wholly. I mean, the lockdown was in play, but there was a counter lockdown as well. So it's really tough for GWTF to play a game right now. I mean, it just looks like JIJI are one step ahead of them every single way.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they've got the slow orb here. That should slow it down. They should definitely heard the ultimate orb being picked up there. But I don't think anyone's going to peek because they're going to respect NicoleG and just her op. And she's been doing this almost every single round.
That is definitely scary. You have to respect this. Anytime you try to peek it, she's just going to click away. Wall comes up as well. Attacker Killjoy as well. This is going to be a big, big problem for GWTF.
Well, I mean, it's going to be one thing to be placing it down. You're definitely getting the spike off. But Ash is looking to peek around. Gets the shot. She actually gets detained here, so she's going to pay for it with her life. But she did stop the spike, at least buying a little bit of time here.
50 seconds left on the clock. They're racing to get the spike down. Casey's trying to do what she can. She wants to get the operator off of NicoleG hands. Kills Savignani as well. But Karena is the one alive right now. She's already got 2 kills. It's a 1v1 scenario. Ooh, but Sexy Lanches. Death from above, Holler.
Yeah, I didn't really see that. Unfortunately, just, okay, now it's operator pickup time. Might as well loot the bodies and then go for the defuse here. But Sexy Lanche, just not being able to hear that on top of you. Sometimes the sound cues are not there, especially when you're walking around like a cat like this Omen. Sexy Lanche making plays.
4 and 5, not too bad. Fairly even on both sides right now. And this is just the strength of GWTF. I mean, it almost looked like the round was up for Team JIJI, but instead, despite the attacker killjoy lockdown, they knew exactly how to play that game. Sexy Lanches lurking towards B Heaven. She knew how to play that one. And of course, Mackenzie and then Karani as well. I mean, they were just Karena, sorry. With the Vandal taking down GWTF members. I mean, GG members.
Yeah, Makasi here is a nice little boombox for Sony, but he's got the wall, so a little bit of a double dipping, so to speak. Pink shells, just kind of clearing the area. He's going to back off here. Does need to be careful of Nicole G with her op, which she's gotten every single round.
That's what happens when you've been winning rounds. You got that bankrolling in. So mid presence has been established for GG's side. GWTF, on the other hand, they're trying to be aware of it. I mean, holding mailroom this way, it's an off angle. If Nicole G tries to peek this, they might be able to take her down. But of course, they're going to have to be careful. They hear the jumps coming up. This signals to Faith, but unfortunately, the operator's just too strong. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade, definitely favoring Team JIJI.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, Nicole did go down. Ash with a nice play for the op, a nice return kill, and totally clearing this area here. Now the spike is going to go down. It's going to be into B, so they do have an area. Corona with a slow orb, just kind of at least slowing down that particular aisle. Ash is going to try to peek around, but that wall is good and bad at this point because she really can't get around it, and now she needs to deal with it herself.
You can't get around it. There's a little hole in it as well, and that allows Zavignani to make some plays. Of course, looking at the smoke, she will draw a little bit of fire, a little bit of attention to herself as well. Karena coming with the res as well. That will buy them just a little bit more time. They already got it halfway, though. The knives goes through, but Karena is the one to lock down the spray, getting the win for her team. 6-4 right now, GG to GWTF.
What a close round. Like the potential, just Nicole just going in, just trying to get the jump in with the knives, throwing it around. That looks very awkward right there, but nonetheless, it looks like they're going to start buying their next items, and they're going to go here. But 6-4, this is kind of what we wanted in terms of a game. Like, it's very competitive. Definitely, and I like the fact that the strategy is constantly changing, right? Yeah. They're not just overcommitting onto one side. They're constantly changing it up, and like really, they haven't been able to draw a beat in terms of what GG wants to do.
Exactly. We're not seeing as much of set executes. They're not really timing these plays. They're not going with a full rolling thunder push on the site as a whole, but instead it's adapting to each other. Of course, right now, the capacity just lurking in that smoke, kind of got spotted out there. A little bit too aggressive. Nicole G now with the operator again. And another attacker killjoy lockdown. Ooh, this is going to force GWTF off the site.
It's going to, I mean, but it's not deep enough where they can get the spike down. That's the biggest thing. Like, I always like it when you place the lockdown, you've got the spike down. Nonetheless, Nicole G is just making quick work of everybody here as Claire goes down.
Oh, well, it's only a pistol in hand. I don't think she can do too much. Komochi's just going to dismiss her really, really quickly. Ash, though, looking towards the back of the site. Might be able to make a play happen. Gets one. Looking for the second, but unfortunately, Masheng with the Vandal. Firepower too overwhelming. And that brings the score down to 7-4. Last round of the first half. GWTF will be able to buy this round, but can they stop Nicole G's operator?
Yeah, this is the thing. This is the problem. I mean, they need to go into the second half because then you know, I mean, like let's start over basically. And, you know, get the op out of Nicole's hands. Let's also at the same time let's look to win this one. Going down 8-4 is terrible going into a second half.
Absolutely abysmal, but right now I think Nicole G's really happy. I mean, just look at them. They're crouching in front of each other, kind of nodding at in each other's presence as well. They're having fun. They're really happy, even thanking each other for the res as well. Of course, it's the same Sage wall towards mid, trying to contest towards this site. But Mackenzie peeking like that, it's going to be a little bit dangerous. You can see Nicole G holding down these angles with her operator.
I'm kind of feeling the whole Jet diff in the sense that like the hero is just so strong in terms of what they want to do. Oh, the wall's going to slow him down. She actually bashes it back. Ash is going to back off here, but they do need to be careful. When they're up 5-4, okay, as I say that, it's 4-4 Nicole G making Makasi pay, but Ash is on the attack. He's got to dismiss, and here we go. Empress is good to go. Lear is going to go out, trying to get the nice shot. Nice kill onto Sabini. He's going to look for turn. It finds Nicole G in the corner. Ash is making plays. They have no idea where she is, and she clutches that one out. Really nice round by Ash.
Of course, Claire stealing the ace away from Ash.
Reported.
Reported. But of course, that is a beautiful Reyna hold, exactly how you want to play this agent. You know, the Leer on the ground to kind of draw them away towards the Leer, as well as peeking onto the other side of the pillar, knowing that there is a player there thanks to her teammate peeking. She knew that she could get the kill. Her Empress was in effect as well, getting the heal, dismissing away into safety. It's just absolutely perfect. The way she flanked behind Nicole G as well. I mean, I don't see Team GG winning that round.
Drop.
I feel like good Reyna players have like good, almost. It's kind of like a fighting game in the sense that like the combinations, like you have to do things at the right timing, like the, you know what I mean, like to combo into to link into the next attack.
Oh yeah.
Like with a dismiss into the Empress, into like the way she do it. It's almost like
it's a
rhythmic.
one-frame link.
Yeah.
Perfect combo. Well timed to execute. Of course, right now it's the first round, the second half. We have GWTF on the approach here. I think they might have heard a little bit of a footstep as well. Ash, she heard one and she gets Nicole G down. Unfortunately for GG, they are already down by one player. They spotted out one on Heaven as well. This will get them the site as the smokes go out. Of course, we'll have to see how GG comes in with a retake. Nice to go off for Shang with the headshot.
Yeah, Como here just using a little bit of play out of the basic instinct playbook by knifing down that ice right there. Got the Leer on out. Komochi is looking to wrap around. She's trying to go into the little back area, but she gets picked off Faith with a classic shot. Nice kill there.
Last player standing.
She's such a tight corner. Karina now the last player alive. Jumping back and forth. She's getting shot, but they're missing the right clicks. They're converging on her. She gets a headshot, but unfortunately it's not enough as Claire comes in with the backup. Right-clicking all across the board. 6 and 7 is the scoreline now.
Yeah, it's super awkward when you're missing your shots like that. You're all over the place. But nonetheless, they were able to hold 7-6. Very important, very good round by GWTF.
Very well played. GWTF with the approach. Of course, it's just the early pickoffs. You know, when they hear those footsteps on A Heaven, it's kind of, all right, we know someone's there. I can peek this. I can definitely counter strafe and try to get a couple of headshots here and there. And they definitely will be able to find those entries. Now, trying to mix things up, going towards the garage, establishing a bit of mid-presence as well.
Yeah, just a little bit of a distraction, if more than anything, just kind of confuse them, understand that they don't really know where they're going. But, you know, one thing about GG on their defense is that they've kind of killjoyed B, so that they're kind of locking that down as opposed to A. So kind of, you know, different teams have different ideas and strategies, and we're kind of seeing exactly how they're doing this. And it looks like they're going to rotate, or they're making their way over.
It's a very subtle thing as well. I mean, if you're close enough, you can actually hear the turret making its little, you know, machinery noises here and there. Ash just lurking in the wrong corner. Komochi was there to pick her off instead. Now they're down by one player. And like I was saying, you can hear the Killjoy turret. You'll know that it's there. And once you are able to do so, you can kind of figure out, okay, Killjoy set up on this side. I should go for another side as well. But it's going to be an even trade, 1-for-1 back there. Now GWTF down by 2 players.
Yeah, Mishing there with a nice little pump fake in terms of the shrouded step, just to try to attract some sort of attention to the sound it makes. Sexy Lanch, though, only 30 seconds, not a whole lot of time. Komochi with a nice kill there.
Yeah, they definitely picked up a couple of SMGs here and there as well. Nicole G trying to slow them down this time. 15 seconds left on the clock. Misheng holding this off angle. If they decide to push through, she will be able to take them down, and I don't see them getting the spike down at all. Yeah,
especially with the bot there. Misheng just holding it down. I think at this point you just save Claire, get out with what you can. Unfortunately, they cannot hear us, and so they walk into their death.
They walk into their death, and that's kind of what we're seeing these couple of days. I mean, the meta game has sort of shifted. I know 2.02, they nerfed running accuracy somewhat, but it's only for the rifles. The SMGs are still really, really strong. You can still run and gun with those things, especially playing these tight corners, really close-range duels. You'll definitely be able to make some damage happen, especially with a Stinger. It's such an underrated weapon, and I think people are starting to pick up on that.
And I think that those are welcome changes in the sense that, like, you know, now there's a pretty big difference between like a Phantom and like the Spectre, right? In the sense that, like, why would you know, if you still want to run and gun, you can do that. Just use the SMGs instead. So you have different options. Now they make the assault rifles not as powerful. Oh, that page out. Oh, I liked it how you actually reacted. Your body moved when the paint shell got reflected, because that was a bit of a bad throw there.
Oh yeah, definitely all too familiar. I've thrown one too many bad paint shells, but of course it's the same wall. In fact, there's a little hole there as well. This could allow GG to push through, but Nicole G again with the operator, shutting down the offensive push from GWTF.
And this is the first time she's had it in the second half, so a little bit of a surprise. We're like, okay, now this kind of changes things up. Oh, the mailroom was there. Komochi's getting completely blinded. She gets a free kill there. Really well played by Komochi, using that Lear.
Slowed it down. Got information as well. They know the remaining two players from GWTF are all over by mid.
Shadows traveling.
It's 2 versus 4. This is a pretty difficult situation to be in right now. But Sexy Lanches, I don't think they want to overcommit. It looks like they got 1 kill. The spike carrier, though, is going to be picked up, or the spike is going to be picked up here. Sexy Lanches is going to make her way into B, but she's going to run into Nicole G, who's kind of peeking this area, realizing that her teammate just died from this area.
Just waiting for that one little pixel, that one head to peek out. You can see her crosshair placement is perfect as well. Oh, but whiffs the shot. Dashes away into safety. Here's the teleport. But of course, Karena has her back. And that is the teamwork from GG. You know, they're one step ahead of GWTF every step of the way. GWTF, they've got a lot of holes here and there.
Yeah, yeah. And Karena there with a nice skin. Basically, like when you kill them, they get dropped into hell. You know what I mean? Like that animation. Like that's crazy. Okay, now you're in the demon world. Oh man, it's one thing to die, but to go into the demon world, I mean. All right, nonetheless, 6-9 next round is going to happen, and it looks like Team GG have found their footing, and they're in a definitely commanding position at this point.
Oh, well, it looks like we're going to have a big clash right now. Nicole G with the operator peeking out. Here's the Lear. Ooh, this is the dash! Ash has taken the operator off her hands, and this will give them the ace site. Attacker Killjoy in play as well.
Yeah, the smoke is there. Nicole G with that dash reminded me of myself playing Ken there, running into the wall. And Mikasi gets picked off there. Unfortunately, not able to hit her shot. Smokey does pay. Ash, though, is going to be in Empress. And she's looking to just fight this. She's going to be able to do it. No, she's not able to outduel Karena there. Here comes the res.
Oh. That was so crucial there for Ash to pick up that kill. Now Karena comes in with a res, turning into 3v2. Not to mention, Mishang has the height advantage from Heaven. This will net her the kill from Claire. Faith trying to do what she can. Let's see if she'll be able to stay alive long enough to do something.
Oh, Faith is the last one. The sound is there, but I don't know if they have time, and she clutches this out. Faith with the plays. And she sends it back into the demon world.
Oh, yeah, you got to send them to the Shadow Realm. Winning out that 1v3 clutch, they just played it perfectly for her, kind of. Faith, she knew how to isolate those angles towards the end. Playing from screens, playing towards elbow. She locked those duels down into individual 1v1s, and that's exactly why she won those clutches. If it were a 1v2, maybe not so much, but she knew exactly what she was doing.
You know, I wonder if they continue to just defuse the spike, if there was enough time. Because her teammate was kind of baiting and just, I mean, yeah, she was dying or whatever, but I'm wondering if that was just enough time to maybe get the defuse off.
Yeah, that's kind of another thing as well, right? I mean, if you're playing with a teammate that you have perfect communications with, you trust them to get those frags, you might have been staying on the defuse, and that would have given you a defuse as well, but of course, playing with a random stack, a little bit different at times, but we'll see how this one plays out. Karena slowing things down, hearing the mid presence.
She actually missed it. Nonetheless, she's going to let it go here. But Karena with the rotate right now. They still have B here, and they're being very patient in terms of how they want to approach this again. And one thing I've noticed is that they really haven't been doing too much in the mid alleyway. They haven't been able to, you know what I mean, like kind of wrap through. Just something to note. They tend to be one or the other.
It's a little bit tough for them to do something. They're worried about vents, they're worried about mill room. Of course, it's going to be easy for Ash to just push on through, getting the Killjoy down. And that's a big problem for GG right now. Sexy Lanches as well. This could be a flawless round.
Yeah, it's looking to be that way. The spike has already been planted. It's just a matter of time. Just holding your angles. Are they? Oh, wait, what? I thought he saw it like twice. I mean, they saw the shoulder, right? But nonetheless, Karena still made it pay. I mean, got the headshot there.
Oh.
And it looks like she's going to be by herself into heaven here. She's getting shot in a couple times. They do know where she is. I don't think that she's actually going to go for this.
trying to go for it, but unfortunately Macasey's just a little bit too strong. Headshots across the board, bringing us back to an 8 and 9.
Would you have saved there?
I think I would.
Okay. Because I don't know if it was just like me. I'm just like, oh, maybe I'm just going to chicken out. Just, you know, if it was more of like a personal thing. But I felt like 1 versus 4 is just a very difficult situation to be in. I don't know. Like, for me, I think I would have ran. But
Definitely difficult. I mean, you try to go for what you can. You know, I think I saw that she had about 2,100 credits as well. But, you know, you definitely want to hold on to whatever you can, buy up for your teammates as well. But having that height advantage, maybe she thought she could have gotten a headshot, but instead missed her shots. Now, Komochi hearing the push from A-Ramps, trying to hold the off angle. Nikoji has her knives up as well.
Oh, they walked out. She dashes away. She does get picked off. No value out of that ult. Knives going down. 0 kills on that one.
Oh.
Spike planted.
Saw the paranoia, ran away, narrowly dodging it.
She's on the high ground. The slow orb will just kind of slow things down, so to speak. But the spike has been planted. This is going to be a difficult overtake. Komochi's just slowly walking up. Kieran is up in front as well.
Okay, a little bit of a teleport mix-up. See, what they're trying to do is to lock Sanchez off on this rotate. They want to make sure that she won't be able to join the fight. But of course,
1 enemy
Karina
remaining.
loses it, and now it's all up to Masheng.
Save, 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 save.
Save.
I'm trying to will it out of her. I mean, she's only got a stinger, which isn't that, but she's got yeah, I think that she's going to run away, especially with the timing there. No exit kills or anything. She's got to... Oh, okay. All right. So you got something. That's pretty good.
Might be able to go back for the rifle, in fact. Yeah.
She is. She is. And she was rewarded with the skins. It was totally worth it.
Glitch Pop 2.0.
Sometimes I will do stupid things. Have you ever done that where you're trying to pick up a gun with a nice skin? It's the same gun that you're using.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is that the round will end, and I'm like, oh, now I have no gun.
It's kind of...
Have you ever been in that situation?
For sure, right? I mean, not to mention, like, if there's an operator and your teammate's like, op, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. And you're like, where?
Yeah, yeah. I remember the first time when I was first learning Valorant, and then they were telling me to pick up the op, and I was like, I don't want an op the next round. They're like, no, it's for me. And I was like, why would I give it to you? That doesn't make sense.
Of course, these guys, these girls, they know what they're doing. Vandals in hand right now. Ash trying to make sure that nobody pushes out of this dark cover.
So difficult, and the door is so wide, not even seeing it, not even clear it out, but she does, okay, she does end up paying. Rez is coming up. This is huge. It's a 9-9 game. The Lear is going to block Karina. She's going to back off here, but she's taking all this down. She gets one shot. She gets to get traded with that, with Mikasa getting that kill.
Still, though, Operator is in the game. Nikolji is in the server, and she's waiting. She knows the push is going to be on B. She's just waiting for someone to walk out of that little doorway there.
Yeah, but there's a lot of time. I mean, they had the site on lockdown, yet the spike is just planted, right? You want to take advantage of any sort of situation that you can get in. Here's the lockdown. Is it going to go off? Mochi's going to start making plays. It's 2 versus 3 at the moment.
Okay, might be walking into the crossfire. Macasey gets the first one. Showstopper in play as well. She's looking for it, but doesn't pull the trigger. Komochi comes back in. Now Claire gets slowed by the turret. Oh, this is not looking good at all. She gets the headshot, though.
Oh, she has to reload. She turns the gun. Oh. Oh, if she pulled out the secondary instead of hitting the reload, oh, she might have gotten that one, but unfortunately not able to do it. It's Savini. Just barely able to get that one. I thought she probably thought that she had more bullets in the clip than she did. You know what I mean? She didn't reload before, and so she was in that awkward situation. But oh my gosh, had that not have happened, she definitely would have clutched that one.
Definitely would have. Oh man. Well, nonetheless, the score is still fairly even right now. You can still come back from that kind of embarrassing play. Did she manage to make it a 1v2 though, right? She still won the 1v2.
Yeah.
9 and 10 right now. Not all over for GWTF.
Careful.
They need to be careful though, I think. Like that is a heartbreaking round, right? In the sense that you weren't supposed to win this, being 1v2 right at that point, right? Which is very difficult. But the fact that you had a chance and you kind of botched it up, sometimes that happens, and unfortunately she wasn't able to clutch that one out.
Let's see if she will be able to recover. Ash making her way up. spots out the alarm bot, and that signals to Savignani that she is over by Rams. Ash still trying to make a play though. Lear out. If someone shoots it, then she'll know that she's over by the other side, but of course trying to close in the distance.
Yeah, no idea yet. And both players being very patient here. Ah, she wasn't actually holding the right angle. Sabini makes her pay, but she does get killed. Makasi with a nice return kill. I feel like Makasi's been, she's as captain, she's just like everybody else is just bait.
Well, kind of, right? I mean, in chess, the pawns go first, you know?
Wow, so she thinks she's the king or the queen of this?
It's all about the big game, the big picture, right?
Right.
Whatever wins us the round, you know?
All right. Okay, all right. I know I'm not going to be playing with you anymore because you're going to just be like, hey, pawn, go up there. Literally call me a pawn and just disrespect me. I get it.
Hey, I'll be able to win you rounds, you know.
All right.
What do you want?
What do I call you? King, queen at this point? What do you want to be in this analogy?
Why not a queen? Sexy Lanchas is a queen herself, you know. She's getting the headshot, Paranoia in as well, but Nicole G, despite getting nearsighted by that Paranoia, still gets the shot. Picking up the Vandal now. Extra firepower, no need for a bolt action. Oh, but doesn't clear the corner, but instead it's going to be Karina who comes back in. Now it's all up to the lone wolf, the lone faith player. She's not going to be able to make anything happen, so scoreline 9-11.
Ooh, what a nice round by Nicole. Just being able to go back and forth, just being able to just go through, getting nearsighted but still getting that pickup, that was actually huge.
Absolutely huge. Almost died as well. I mean, when she pushed out of heaven, didn't clear the Raptors angle, but thankfully, Karina was there to back her up.
Yeah, it's nice to have good teammates, something that, you know, somebody able to support you and not just use you as bait like everybody on my team. Right?
Here.
Well, you get the information, you get the trade. It's kind of this is what the team captains are trying to do, right? It's kind of like a game of risk. You know, you want to have players situated up on different areas, and then you'll kind of be able to tell, all right, they have this number of players over on this side. We know that they have presence here. Which side is weak?
And I like that with the whole risk analogy. I think that's pretty good in terms of how they want to do this. But they've got it, and they've got the site, though. But they've lost one to kind of start this off. They are definitely behind, and Ash making them pay. Dismisses away again. She's so elusive.
Super elusive, especially with the dismissibility. But unfortunately, Kamochi is elusive as well. Ash still very much in the game. Ooh, double kill, nice!
I think Ash is, I think she's got a 4K. Can she clean this up? No, Michelle gets that one, stops that streak going. But Sexy Lanchas, they're trying to go for the defuse. She makes her pay. She wraps around, but Nicole G is just in time, picks up her op, and what does she do? She goes for the defuse now.
Yep. Brings us to 9-12. That was definitely kind of a Hail Mary play from GWTF. They kind of just wanted to go for the side and ensure that they get the spike down. But unfortunately, they weren't able to win out in these close-range duels, which they definitely should have. I mean, they had the Spectres, they had the Stingers, they could have made something happen. But it's just Nicole G with the operator, man.
Yeah, she's just, she's really, really good. Just in terms of just hitting her shots, making sure that, like, because if you get that early pick off, you get a lot of value. It just makes it very difficult for the team to fight 4v5.
So, match point. JIJI on the cusp of victory. Let's see if GWTF will be able to make something happen. Of course, JIJI, and just to remind you, JIJI were the fan favorites. They had a 39.2% in the entire FSL Showdown poll. Kamochi just so aggressive. Goes in, spike carrier killed, gets traded. 4v4 now.
Yeah, but fan favorite is one thing, and another thing is that, yes, this is a best of 3, so this is only the first match. So you don't have to worry about them going away, but it's pretty much life or death if they do end up losing. So they do need to be careful just moving forward. That said, this is single elimination, so you don't really have that much room to maneuver around.
Not much at all. You can see after the initial frags, the remaining JIJI players are trying to slow things down as well. They're playing a lot more careful. Mishang just trying to get some information around the middle.
It's 4-on-4. Mishang just kind of being very patient, making sure that she's not like peeking, she's not getting out. Claire's actually was thinking about the lockdown, but I think they're going to wait for time to get a little bit lower. And then here we go. It's about to go, and that should be good to go. And she's got it queued up, but they're not actually rushing into the site. So very slow mailroom. Mishang. It's like security officer in the mailroom.
Definitely the security officer. They should be able to get the spike down right now, but taking a little bit too long. Karina getting the frag as well. Oh, knives in the way. It's all up to McCasey in a 1v3. 10 seconds left on the clock. What can she do? Gets the first headshot, but unfortunately, the numbers advantage from GG will prove to be too overwhelming, and GG takes away the first map.
What a great match to start things off, right? Just how competitive it was. It was very close, 9-9, and then all of a sudden GG just kind of got rolling. Ash was almost like the MVP there, just like totally picking it up and everything. But again, we talked a lot about Nicole, but Karina and Komochi, both of these stepping up big, clutching out rounds when they needed to, and just really made the team really play well together.
Oh yeah, there were definitely a couple of nail biters here and there. I mean, running out of ammunition, switching over to the sidearm, and just still losing at the end. But Ash, just absolutely perfect. I mean, there were those plays where she had the Empress ability activated. She was hiding in the smoke and just knowing how to maneuver around using the dismiss ability of Reyna. This is what makes a Reyna player strong, you know?
And we're seeing it on top, right? If you have a good Reyna player, you can make plays, right? Just being able to, the abilities is just, it's so diverse in what you can do. But the thing is that you have to make plays. If you're not making plays, I mean, you're definitely not going to be on the top like this. But in this case, they were just like really clean it up. Makassi's on point as well. Claire is definitely great as well. So, I mean, just a lot going on. But, you know, we're going to go into a game 2 soon. But before we do, any final thoughts on this game?
I mean, definitely right now you can see GG are very much so in the lead. GWTF, they've got a lot of holes here and there, especially in their defense. You know, they've got little weaknesses that GG knows how to exploit. So coming into the second map, they really need to tighten their laces up.
Yeah. And there's, like, there are minor things that are happening. Some rounds they probably should have won. There were some things that they can kind of get a little bit, you know what I mean? They can kind of shore up in terms of those weaknesses. They're going to take this break here kind of to think about it, talk with the team. This is definitely what you need to do just to get better. But before we do, let's go to is there a player versus overlay ready? No, there's not. Okay, all right. So let's take a quick little break. It's about 5 minutes, and we'll be back with the second match. Welcome back to the FSL Showdown presented by Intel and, of course, Yahoo. My name is Holler, and I'm with Hey, I'm Quack, and we are down into the second map. It's going to be Bind. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, what is there to say about Bind? You know, it's kind of the gimmick of the teleporters. It's kind of controversial at times. I mean, a lot of people think, you know, in terms of win rates, it's fairly balanced, but at the same time, some people don't like that it's so easy to rotate on this map.
Yeah.
But of course, I mean, looking at the way the entire map is laid out, you don't really have a definitive middle. You know, it's kind of just A short or B short. So when you're locked into a site, you're going towards a site to push in. It's kind of a full commit. You don't really get that much option of rotating around. I mean, if you go for the teleporter, your opponents can hear you. You really have to be careful about how you want to rotate and move around on this map.
Do you think it's more of an attacker or defensive favored map?
To be honest, it's kind of both, actually. I mean, definitely defenders, because defenders, you hear the teleporter, you hear where your opponents are. It's very easy for you to rotate. I mean, just looking at how the map is laid out on the defender spawn, the amount of time it takes for you to get from one site to the other is about, say, give or take 10 seconds.
Yeah,
it's not that long.
Yeah,
it's pretty quick.
It's pretty quick.
So defenders definitely have an edge up over there. But at the same time, for attackers, if you want to rotate, you just take the teleporter. You can get there really fast as well. So it's kind of a race, a rat race, to see who's faster, who's quicker.
That's true. I mean, and this is why this map is so different than, like, Icebox, right? Where I think it was like 20 seconds from site to site, which is an eternity when you get the spike down. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the agents selected here. It looks like there's going to be Sovas on both sides. Obviously, the intel, very important. But I like the whole mustache brimstone.
Mustache brimstone. That's kind of my favorite as well. I mean, it's kind of
you like guys with mustaches? Is that right?
We'll discuss that after.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Not now.
Nah, I mean, I love military stuff. So brimstone as like this soldier kind of guy, it's kind of got me going. But of course, that's the option of like who you want as your duelist, who you want as your controller / smoker player. So it's either Brimstone or Omen, right? And Brimstone with the recent buff of how your Sky Smokes last a lot longer, it's definitely an added bonus. But Kimochi with that early frag definitely has weakened the defenses of GWTF just by a bit, but Sexy Sanchez picks things right back up.
Yeah, that Frenzy is just so good. There's so much value out of this gun. I think it's like one of the best guns, especially in the pistol round.
Oh, yes.
It's definitely something that you know, we've seen time and time again. Just, you know, Riot really wants this gun to be good, and so they've done quite a lot. Nonetheless, Ash is going to be playing the Phoenix. What are your thoughts on this?
Ooh, I mean, if you know how to pop your flashes, you would be able to get tremendous value, but instead it's going to be a little bit too close, and Mashang will be the one to get that frag. It's all up to Clarigan in a 1v3. Turret spots her out. 41 points of health left. Oh, she gets spotted out by the recon arrow as well.
Yeah, it's always kind of painful when you're stuck with the classic because you had to actually buy your, you know, your abilities. So unfortunately not able to kind of clean that one up, plus being down 1v3. Very difficult in this case. Nonetheless, Team GG looking really strong to kind of start off this second map.
Really, really strong right now. I mean, they've been just absolutely dominating in these 1v1 duels. GWTF, I don't know if it's crosshair placement or aim, but they're missing shots here and there. Sometimes abilities as well. They get caught out of position. Meanwhile, GG, they know how to win these duels, and that is why they're kind of always getting these rounds.
Yeah. But okay, one thing we haven't really talked about is Sentinels, like, you know, Killjoy versus Cypher. Is it just hands down Killjoy's the best Sentinel right now, or is it more of like, what are your thoughts on this?
It's a little bit different, right? Because with Killjoy, it's a lot more defensive. You're locking down positions, but Cypher, you get information. Instead, it's not just information because it's firepower on the side of GWTF right now, hiding right behind a smoke, playing close quarters. They know how to get these right clicks in this time. This is what we want to see, the recovery. But of course, hearing the teleporter, they know it's going to be an A hit. I'm not sure why Ash is looking over, maybe just to get a little bit more information. Meanwhile, it's going to be Sexy as well as the Brimstone player to push onto A side.
Right, yeah. I have a hard time with you just calling her Sexy instead of just saying Sexy Sanchez. Let's go with the full name because it's weird when you're just calling these girls Sexy, all right? Okay, I don't know I don't know who you're talking about at this point, right? So let's be very clear. All right, nonetheless, Kimochi's here in A Lamps, kind of holding down this line. The spike has been planted. They're in a pretty good spot right now, just kind of starting off.
Still with the stinger into this close place. Spectre is the one that wins it out. Of course, now it's all up to Karena. 21 points of health. I don't know.
You just look at her, and she gets gift wrapped, and she is done. Defuse is definitely going to happen. Faith. Easy, easy.
Not the boom you hoped for.
It's Boxing Day right now for GWTF. They're having a good time. Forced buying up on the second round. Sometimes that's what you need to do.
Yeah, and it's 1-1, which is kind of surprising. Usually that second round, you just kind of snowball. So with them, just kind of thwarting them and being able to get that defuse there, like a huge play by GWTF.
Yeah, I have to say, MVP of that round was the player hiding over by Octagon. I mean, just using the smoke, playing it despite only having a classic, right? The right click at that point-blank range is just so strong. She knew exactly when to peek it. The timing on that was pristine.
Yeah, and it looks like they're kind of overloading onto B here. Mind you, Killjoy's contraptions are pretty much all at B too, so they do need to be careful in terms of how they approach the alarm bots and everything. Just the nano swarms, everything's just like this trail. Like you want to walk in, this is like, you know, a terrible spot. Nicole G's looking to just go in from hookah. He's got the smoke down. Gonna block a lot. Fear just goes down, and Nicole makes him pay and makes Ash pay for trying to beat out Claire with a nice shot on that teleporting Mishang. Was not gonna happen there.
Not going to happen, but the spray is not going to happen as well. Nicole G comes in to trade things up. More experienced team captain knows exactly how to play this, hiding around the two. Faith trying to make a play, peeks out, doesn't get the spray. Of course, though, now Sexy Sanchez got her name right this time. Coming up on the elbow angle, looks for the shot, gets it, turns it back into a 2v2.
And that's why she earned the name Sexy Sanchez right there, right? The fact that with making sexy plays like that was such a great play there. Just being able to peek out and winning out those duels. Super important when you're looking to play Valorant.
Oh, alarm bot comes back into play. Savvy holding it from Octagon, and that is the angle favorite to her. She's going to get a nice little double kill, cleans things up, brings the score back to a 2-1.
And when you've got that plant down, there's just so many different angles you got to deal with. This is maybe the problem with this map, right? In the sense that, like, once you get that planted, now you have different angles that they need to deal with. There's elevation. There's, like, you know what I mean? Like, finding the right spot and just trying to pick people off. It's very difficult. So making sure that you get that defense up front and being stalwart with that, I think it's going to help you a lot more than, you know, looking to overtake.
Precisely. I mean, when you have the site on lockdown, once you already have the spike in, all you got to do is just hide somewhere and wait for opponents to push. And of course, you have, I mean, both sides, A and B, are fairly open. You just have to worry about these obstacles too as well. But right now, early smoke. Sky Smoke in play as well. The Molly, in fact, for extra insurance in case he spots out another member. This time she's coming in with a jet of her own.
Yeah, she's got the knives out. She's not able to connect with it. And she's looking to just go with the classic, and she's definitely going to be outdueled there by Komochi with a nice Vandal kill. It looks like they're going to try to go wrap around Bat, though. And Ash is going to get the nice headshot. It's simple as that. If Ash was there and did that before, it could have probably saved her life.
Well, it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Right now, it's all up to GG to make the push. It looks like they're committing towards this A take.
Ooh, peeked around. That's a difficult one. You got to make sure that you cover all of your angles. Here we go, the lockdown. And it looks like the spike is going to be easily planted, especially with that smoke there. Blocking most of it. Or as I say that, run it back, make sure he pays, but he's got the lockdown. It goes off, but nobody's been detained.
Left.
No detain, you stand corrected, but it looks like they're just going to take the teleport over. Of course, like I was talking about, right? They hear it, so it's going to be a fast rotate over from Claire. She's already on the site, but turret out, it's not going to do much. With a frenzy, she can't really secure these duels. Dash can make anything happen. Oh, Vandal out of hand. It's all up to Sexy Lances with the frenzy, and I don't think she's going to be able to win this.
Well, that's because you're negative Nancy. I think that she has a chance. If she wraps around, she still has a chance. I mean, it's only two agents she needs to deal with. The problem is that the ones that hook up, very difficult situation. If she hit her shot, and all they need to do is buy time. They actually don't need to duel this. If they just kind of wait it out and make sure that she doesn't really have a chance, yeah, she just gets killed in the end.
Sometimes you need positive energy. Sometimes you need a bigger gun.
That is very, very true. The frenzy, I mean, we talked about just how good it is, but it was mainly about like the pistol round, or maybe if you're jetting, you know, in the sense that you can dash in, you take it into close quarters, you have a little bit of a better chance then.
Of course, aside from that, we talked about Killjoy versus Cypher, and this is the strength of Killjoy as well. I mean, look at how Karena was playing it. The way that she was hiding in U-Haul or lamps, I mean, Faith did not know that she was in there, and of course the lockdown coming into play as well. It just buys up so much time, and it instills fear in the other team.
Yeah. And,
Launching smoke.
Smoke's here. Faith is going to just kind of slow things down, making sure that A short is shut down, but it looks like they're going to go through showers. Does need to be careful. Faith is actually not holding her angle, which is super awkward. Okay. Killed the bot there. Turret, that is. Mochi peeking out, gets paid. She's headshotted by Sexy Land.
Nowhere to run!
That's the thing about Valorant. When it comes to peeking, you have to be careful, or you can't just full commit right off the get-go, because Sexy Lances has the angle on you, gets, I think, the Killjoy player down to red health. Recon Vault will slot her out, but she just swings it, gets the headshot, looks for the second, but Savignani coming with a double kill now. It's going to be Ash has to clean things off and bringing us to 2-3 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, Karena, though, she got shot as she was trying to hide behind the truck. And then all of a sudden, she continued to, she was like, all right, my job is to plant the spike. I'm going to do it come heaven or hell. I don't really care. And then she tried to go for it, and she just ended up dying there. But nonetheless, it's 2-3, still very close.
Yeah, you can see the economy on GG's side is a little bit broken up as well. That's why they've got Spectres and Stingers. But of course, I mean, looking at the ultimates, you know, Claire and Sexy Lances, they already have theirs pretty close. Sexy Lances already has hers as well, and that is just big value, right? I mean, with a Killjoy ult, with a Sova ult, you can deny plants, you can push people off of sites. It does so much. It looks like GG wants to make a push on the B site right now, but of course they are blocked off by a lot of these smokes.
Yeah, they're definitely blocked off, but they haven't. it's weird because they're threatening to do this. They went with the shock darts. They're gonna now make a mass rotation. But the thing is that when you're running around, you make a lot of noise. People are gonna see it. It's not like teleported loud, but it's still, you know, giving away your general position. That is
precise. Speaking of position, Savignani spots out the Lamps player. Mikasi, though, with her operator. Let's pull up a little bit of Nicole G magic here. Misses her shot, though. Goes back in for a peek. Misses the second. Oh, no. This is uncharacteristic. Now they have to worry about the Odin. The spike hasn't gone down just yet. GG's advances have been foiled. Komochi trying to make some plays happen. Gets the first shot. Misses. Runs out of ammo. And it's a messy one-tap from Sexy Lanches that clears it up. And that takes us to a 3-3.
Really nice round by Sexy Lanches, though. We ended up getting a kill with a Hunter's Fury, made sure that she got tremendous value out of that. Plus, it gives away a lot of the vision that, you know, when you hit somebody, right? When you pick somebody off, and it kind of zones it out. So it's just a really nice round by Sexy Lanches, and she's got 7 kills to her name. I mean, it's second place to Ash's 10, but nonetheless, still really contributing in this, especially since it's only the 7th round now.
Yeah, I'm liking this color on GWTF. You know, the Sexy Lanches, the Phoenix red, orange fire. It really works out. I mean, this time they're doing a lot better than before. Of course, it's up to GG to see if they can foil these plans. This time with Stingers and Spectres once more. A little bit of a scuffed buy. They have to be careful about how they approach these sites. I mean, if Mikasi with her operator is able to lock this down, it's going to be a very, very painful game for GG to play.
Oh, that Molly, that should do a decent amount of zoning. Stim Beacon, just throwing it down. I just love the fact that it's quick cast now, by the way. Nonetheless, Brimstone, a pretty big buff. She's going to look to peek around. Oh, she's actually missing her shots immediately. Okay. Oh, no, not like this. Oh, nonetheless, Nicola's in. She pulled out the Sheriff. Mikasi actually gets the outplay. All right. Jet on jet action.
Jet on jet. You gotta love some jet on jet action. Whoever can dash away first is the one that loses. But of course, it's gonna be Faith and Ash to just clean things up, the cleanup crew, every single round. I mean, GG, now that they're on these scuffed buys, whenever they try to make some advances, once they give away their positions, they get stuck in these positions, right? Whether it's Ace Short, whether it's Lamps, GWTF, they have that information, they know how to exploit it, and this is where they start winning these rounds. But of course now, the economy is starting to favor GG just a little bit once more. Misheng still holding on to her Omen teleport. We are back in the game with a full buy on both sides, but Mikasi with the operator, that is the one that you have to watch out for.
Definitely important, definitely important. But here's the thing, if GWTF win one more round, the next round you're probably looking at a beatdown round for GG, so they do need to win this one out, make sure that they get value out of the fact that they completely bought out this round.
Trying to scout things out for the Owl Drone.
Revealing area.
Play. Looks like they want to commit and make a push, but they have to be careful how they approach this, because if they're not, Mikasi is there to answer back with an off shot.
Oh, Komochi gets picked up at from the side shot. Did not see that flank coming, but it's going to be a 3-on-3. Here comes the plant. Claire is just holding the line at least the elbow.
Spike planted.
And if she gets to get some sort of pick off, and the lockdown is going to be committed. It's kind of in the middle, and it's in hookah though.
You know, a little bit aggressive for a lockdown to be deployed there, but doesn't seem like GWTF will be able to take it down as well. And looks like they will be detained, in fact. 2 players. Could be bait for Faith to pick up a couple of kills here and there, but looks like they're not going to be pushing through anyway. 3v2. Let's see if GWTF will be able to win this.
Oh, both of them, and Misheng actually makes Claire pay. Faith is looking to just pick this one out. He gets the trade. They do have the vision, and they get the second one, and it looks like they've got the defuse here. But okay, one thing that we haven't really talked about is the fact that, okay, I was like, okay, all right. I thought it was that was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. But all right, if you've got the Killjoy, your Sova needs to work around the lockdown cooldown, or the number of ults that, you know what I mean, the abilities that she's getting. Because of the fact that you can Hunter's Fury the lockdown down, right? So you need to be a little bit careful in terms of just like spamming that Hunter's Fury.
That's exactly right. Sometimes you want to hold on to that, save it for a rainy day. But of course, lockdown did go in, but it's GWTF with the win.
I'll find them.
I mean, the way they're playing, I feel like they're a lot more patient these times. They're waiting for the lockdowns to go away. They're holding it. They're waiting for utility to be spent, and then they come in with a recon bolt. Once they get information, they know how to win these duels. And the KC again with another peek. Once she has this operator, I mean, she's starting to be a little bit like Nicole G.
Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, oh, Kamochi peeks out. I mean, gets the sexy Lancha just peeking out there. Mikasi's trying to go in. The Lear's going to just back them up. They're going to kind of run back into the lamps here just to kind of keep themselves alive. The plant is looking to go down. Killjoy's making her way all the way to the end. And Mikasi from that, like a hip shot, gets the op shot there.
Now, though, Ash comes back in. It's another trade, 3v2. Spike is down. Karena looking and waiting for the push out of lamps. Misses the shot, though. That will give information to Nicole G, but still the numbers advantage from GWTF will net them the round, bringing it to a 6-3.
Okay, well, they bought out last round as well. I mean, they went Spectres as much as they could, and so they went to this. But they got 3 kills. They got the spike down. In terms of money and economy, it's not in shambles, so to speak. They do have a chance, and it looks like they're going to fully buy here, and Phantoms are coming. And, yeah, it looks like they're going to be, okay, Stingers, Spectres, and 1 Vandal.
Definitely not what you want to have. Not to mention, I mean, this is the thing, right? We talked a little bit about this at the start of the game. Brimstone versus Omen. Omen has been hit with a nerf. The Paranoia now costs 400 credits, and that's kind of why Misheng is a little bit broke as well, right? Every time you want to buy up with a full buy, full utility as well, instead of costing you 3,900, this time it's going to be about maybe 4,400 or so. It's a lot more costly.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they had to balance that out. I think Omen was overplayed. Like, he was like 100% pick. You know, and so, like, they had to do something to just kind of give Brimstone a chance in that sense, because he's trying to do the same thing, but his smokes now are a lot better, and I think that his orbital is just way better than it used to be.
Yeah, orbital is such a strong tool. But right now, it looks like they have a little bit of information over by H-Short as well, but looks like Kamochi just wants to commit anyway. She has the Lear, she's fearless, and she's just going to come in swinging into the lamps position. We have 1 teleport, though.
Oh, but they're trickling in. And it looks like Kamochi's not able to get revenge. Oh, the updraft into the draft, to the dash away. She's fine for now. But where is... Okay, they're trying to all pretend like they're going to go for B. But in actuality, they want to still completely... they want to plant the spike at A as the smokes are going down. It looks like they're
30 seconds left.
Let's see if they'll be able to get the spike down. It's going to be Ash who's pushing in with the run. In fact, she flashes over the ABC, but does get a headshot in that.
No charges left.
Still, the spike has been delayed. Orbital Strike comes in play as well. Hunter's Fury as well. Ash, she's just going on a tear. Triple kill in this round already. Might even go through the teleporters to make things up. And Sabignani, I don't think she can go for much here, as Sexy Lenches just puts the final shot into her head, taking us to a 7-3. GWTF doing very, very well this time around.
Yeah, their defense has been on point. In terms of how they've been able to just defend, they rotate well. They've gotten the nice pickoffs to kind of, you know, to put themselves into a, you know, a good position. And Mikasi, like, this is the power of the Jet Op that we kind of didn't see in the last map. I mean, like, yes, you know, Reyes was good and all that, but you're seeing just why you kind of have to have a Jet on the team.
For sure. Not to mention, I mean, just you got smokes, you got dashes, and now she's going for another aggressive peek once more. She's been playing this position for the past 3 rounds. That's a free kill. Ash, though, gets caught out of position. And now it's going to be the full GG swarm all the way down hookah. 1 more from long as well, but Mikasi misses that shot. They have information. It's going to be the quick rotates from GWTF to see if they can come in with a retake.
But a nice round so far to kind of start things off for GG here. They've got the sight. Sexy Lanches doesn't want to go in. The smoke is going to be there, just throwing out some recons and shock darts, just trying to, just, you know, maybe some chip damage and all that, but they do need to get the spike down. They've had it, and they wasted a little bit of time. He misses the knives, unfortunately, by Nicole, but Sexy Lanches still alive, holding that down. Kamochi's holding the flank angle, and he does get 2, or he gets 1 there. And it's going to be 1 versus 3. It's all up to Mikasi.
1v3 with an operator. It's not impossible. She definitely hears the teleport. She knows there is an Omen somewhere around this corner. Might even go for a save, though. I mean, it's a 5,000 credit weapon.
Yeah, but she's got 7,500 if she wants to do this. I don't think she will. I think it's better to save. But I play very timidly. That's just how I play.
Looks like she is saving after all. Be able to find an exit frag. But of course, that round, I mean, just, it's GG, they're good at these pushes, you know. Once they source out, they know to seize the initiative. Yep. Once the operator shot has been sounded off, she knows it's gonna be a while before Mikasi gets her operator back up again. That's when they push in. That's when they flood onto the sites. They take Ashe down, and once Ashe is gone off the roster, the entry fragger, the duelist is gone. It makes things a lot easier for them to protect the spike.
I kind of feel like, and if we can just look at the scoreboard, I mean, I just feel like the team of GWTF just really rely on Ashe's play. Just being able to, like, I think she still tops in terms of the kills. She does definitely some of the most damage on her team, but she's just been able to make plays, and just her dying that early last time was just heartbreaking for them in that round.
Of course, this time things are a little bit slower, and Ashe, you can see she's playing a little bit more defensively as well, knowing that, you know, if she's gone off the roster, it's going to be a tough day for GWTF. She's going to have to stay alive a little bit more. She's playing an operator, in fact.
Yeah. I think she's just sick of just rushing in and dying. So I think at this point you play a little bit safe. I mean, if you've got the op game and you can play it well, I mean, you can be very, very strong because there's just so many different long alleyways.
Really safe, but at the same time, they've kind of given up a lot of room for Komochi to just walk right in. Ashe does find one, though. Has the money to pick up a second Vandal this time, but she's standing in the Nanoswarm. Might even get summoned 1G'd at this point. Gonna heal back up with her hot hands.
Spike
but
planted.
This will give GG the spike down.
She took a lot of unnecessary damage and chipped away all of her armor, which doesn't heal up. Yes, she's at she's at HP 99, but nonetheless, she's still a little unnecessary in terms of that damage.
Dim beacon here.
Yeah, HP 99. That means 3 bullets or so, and you're basically dead. And that is gonna be favorable for Faith with her Phantom right now. High fire rate, she can connect her shot, but no, instead she lines up for Mashang, who picks up a triple kill this time.
Just the outplay there. You have to hold that line. I mean, the thing is, like, you got the nice little recoil control, right? Like, to be able to line them up with a Vandal from that range, it's very patient and understanding the limits of that weapon.
It's a Vandal shish kebab. You just line up right in a row. It's going to be easy kills, easy spray for Mashang. And this brings GG back to 5-7. That's going to be the end of the first half. A little bit shaky for GG right now, but not too bad. They're starting to come back into the groove just by a bit.
Yeah, and they were behind. Like, this is like GWTF were definitely on fire. They were kind of rolling, and then all of a sudden the last 2 or 3 rounds, I mean, just GG just picked it up, figured out the holes in the defense, so to speak, and let's just see if they can defend just like GWTF did.
Of course, I mean, MVP of the entire game so far has been Ashe. I mean, look at that. It's like 18 kills and 7 deaths. It's absolutely colossal in terms of value. And not to mention, now that she's on attack, she might actually even be a little bit more comfortable with this entry fragger duelist role.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to go for A short. They're all kind of lining up. They're waiting for the smoke to dissipate. It does. And here we go. Jet dashes in. She's going to start it off. She does have a ghost, though, so she can find the right pickoff. Oh, she walked around. She does end up killing Kochi. She gets the second. Mikasi making plays. Dashes away again. She finds the other one. She dashes again. And this time she does get killed by the shock dart. Just unnecessary collateral damage, I would say.
Collateral damage, shock dart to your face. Sometimes that's what you need to make a statement. 3v3 now. They do have the spike down, so that is already Mikasi's value in play. Karena now coming back in, trying to clear out this last corner. And Cipriani will be able to get it. It's all up to Claire in a 1v2.
Oh, she looked around. She got the nice little headshot. She gets the second one, and Claire with a nice clutch. What a play.
What a play indeed. I love that Claire did that little 1-2 punch. You know, it's the kind of a thing with the the classic that you can do, left and then right click, kind of like a fighting game combo as well.
Yeah. Like, there's, like, as a starter weapon, and you're guaranteed the classic, it's actually not a bad weapon.
It's actually a very good weapon, especially at close range. Just hearing, it's kind of like a mini shotgun.
Just the mini, the secondary fire is just so good. I mean, but you need to know when to use it.
Yes. Long range, it won't be as effective. But right now, this is why GWTF are doing pretty well right now. They know that GG are going to be on eco. They're going to be saving up. It's going to be a better way for them to push up B long because it's a long alleyway. If you miss your shots, you won't be able to do so much. It looks like it's just going to be a B split push. Owl Drone has been committed as well. That will give them some information, but shut down by Ash.
Yeah, Karina actually took a little bit of damage, just shooting blind, that is. But Flash is going to actually blind her, and they do have this vision on this Phoenix. On Ash is be able to make her pay. Nice little Spectre kill. That gun is so good.
Really good. It was a complete fake out as while Ash was drawing a lot of attention onto B site. The spike went down over on A. Now it's Faith holding the spawn angle. There is a player lurking over in Lambs. It's Nicole G, but she's going to get taken down by Faith instead. It's all up to Karina now.
Yeah, this is bad. I mean, do you even save the classic? Like, oh, that looked like lag to me.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. Wasn't even close. But nonetheless, 9-5, GWTF really coming back in the second map. Very strong.
Very strong. They are starting to really figure out how they want to take these sites. I mean, just gaining so much. I mean, the way Kimochi has been playing so far, it's really, really aggressive. Especially on Defender, you don't really have to peek as much. But she went for the peek, went right into Ash's crosshairs, and they kind of thought it was going to be a B hit. But instead, that was when Ash knew, all right, the rest of the team, it's time for them to go towards A because I'm here. They think that we're going towards B. This is the opportune moment. This is when we need to make our stand. Kimochi going in for the peek here. Unfortunately gets tagged out instead.
Oh, Ash taking a decent amount of damage. She does get the flash down, but she does go down. That's 19 kills that your team doesn't have anymore. So it's going to be up to everybody else to kind of pick up the slack, and that's quite a lot of slack to pick up by GWTF.
Here.
Go for a B split this time around. They're going to get spotted out by the Owl Drone, however. You can see the rotates. A lot of moving parts on the map right now. Very 50 seconds left for GWTF. If they make a push right now, they're going to walk right into GG's defenses.
Yeah, and GG have completely rotated. They know that everybody's going in. The Killjoy's contraptions are everywhere right now. They do need to be careful. Yes, they're in hookup, but this is kind of a... They might be sitting ducks. Makasi gets killed as well. Mashang with a nice headshot. He does get killed in return,
30
though.
seconds
It
left.
looks like a spike is going to go down. Oh, as I say that, Nicole makes her pay. Not the case here, and it's 2 versus 3.
2 versus 3. Spike is getting planted, and Karina hears it. She's gonna go for it. Misses her shots, though. That allows the rest of the team to come back in for the retake as Kimochi comes in with a perfect spray, bringing us to a 9-6.
Just, like, I'm wondering if what was in their minds, right? In the sense of, like, GG going for, like, the full rotate, right? Because they sent everybody back over. Why didn't GWTF get that cue and kind of, outthink them? You know what I mean? Like, oh, they think we're going to go into A, so we should go to P or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, just change it up. Like,
and they had 50 seconds, too. They could have.
Yeah, they definitely had time.
Because they just committed to it. And that's kind of where we're starting to see GWTF, right? Like you said before, they're definitely banking on Ash to get all these kills. But when Ash falls, the rest of the team, they start to fall like flies one by one as well.
Yeah. I've noticed that's like their biggest issue is that, like, it's 100% on Ash. If Ash survives, they just win. If not, then, like speaking of which, and Ash is very vulnerable here. You don't want to be trying to outduel Nicole on her operator, but she's barely, she's very lucky that she survived.
Ash wants to take Nicole down. Just aggressive hot hands into your face. Gives her so much space up onto Octagon, but now she has to clear in the elbow angle. Meanwhile, Komochi coming in with a big flank here. I don't think that they're aware that she's right in this position.
Yeah. Ash with a nice shot into Nicole. She does end up winning that duel. And here we go. Run it back. Trying to zone it out. You got to be super careful. The Nail Storm just blocking it out. Mikasi with a nice headshot into Corinna, though. Misheng. That's a Guardian kill. That's the first one we've seen today.
Spike planted.
Guardian's still a very strong weapon. It looks like the run it back ran out from Ash. Still, she's cutting them off on the rotate. Anytime someone wants to peek out a spawn, Ash is going to be there.
Oh, not able to outduel it. And Ash with another kill. Go looks to pick up a gun, but she gets shot through the wall.
Last player standing.
Claire with a nice headshot into Hookah. And for Misheng, that is. Misheng's been camping that area. Careful, Komochi's looking to just spray and pray, but unfortunately not able to connect, and Mikasi gets the kill there.
That is just the numbers advantage on GWTF. Perfect plays from Ash, controlling so much space and then taking, I think, Mikasi down. That was tremendous value, but of course, towards the end, it was a little bit messy at times, right? We're seeing these little moments of, oh, I want to pick up a different gun. I get caught out with switching weapons.
Yeah. Ash thought she had plenty of time to just pick up whatever gun she wanted, but unfortunately not the case there. She gets picked up. But 21 kills. Let's be honest, that's a pretty good match so far.
Definitely good. It's kind of the duel between Komochi and Ash right now, as we're seeing. But it's going to be an Owl Drone, not to mention GG on Eco at this point. Nicole G kind of banking on her knives. I'm not a fan of this.
Yeah, it's a little early. I think that she thought that the attack was right about to happen, so she kind of put him out a little bit early. We're going to see the orbital bombardment is going to go, and it does end up zoning it more than anything, but she actually walks into that. Nicole taking a little bit of damage. Kind of like when you're flying, sometimes you don't know where you're going. But here's the Hunter's Fury, Sabini doing a little bit of pot shot, so to speak, a little bit of chip damage.
Last player standing.
Pot shots will not connect. And neither will Karena's right clicks this time as Ash picks up a double kill. And that puts us at 11-6. GWTF possibly taking this map home.
Yeah, very strong performance by Ash. She's been carrying this one completely on her back right on this one. She's going to be trying to just close this one out. 11-6. This is the all-important one. You do not want to go into match point.
Most certainly don't want to, not to mention GG. This could be their potential last buy. I mean, they're kind of banking into this round. I don't know if they'll have enough for the next if they lose here.
And GWTF, I'm not sure. I don't remember the poll, but were they on the top 5 fan favorites?
I don't
remember.
think so.
I don't think they were. So they're kind of really showing up here. Yeah, I don't even see them on the poll. So Team GG here, looking to be a favorite, and mind you, this is only the second map, and it looks like Ash to run it back. No value, though, just a little bit of information. Dash forward, Mikasi gets one pick off. He does die at the end, though. Here we go, the lockdown, just kind of locking this one down, trying to build a little bit of a zone. And can they get anything? This is going to just zone them away, and it looks like a rotate's happening.
Rotate's happening on both sides. It's going to be a race to see who can reach A site first. Looks like one of them wants to pick up the alt orb as well. Faith has to get the spike down just in time, but of course they have to go up against 4 players from Team GG.
Yeah, I don't like Faith's position here. This is a little too out in the open for me. You probably want to hold a little bit of cover. Sexy Latches, on the other hand, going to back off here. I don't know if you defend. I mean, the defuse is going down, and they completely got it. And if anything, but it looks like they're trying to pick them off, and no! Sexy Latches does get the, tried to get a second kill on the way out.
My God.
Okay. She's making a statement.
She certainly is. Nicole G with the dash into showers. That was completely unnecessary, but it gave Sexy Lanchas a free double kill. So why not, right? Thanks. Team GG, they're coming back into the game. They played that on perfectly. This was a 4v2, but coming into this round, I don't think GWTF I don't know. Sexy Lanchas, she does have her ultimate because of that double kill in the previous round, so that could open things up.
Could, definitely. Ash is going to try to go through hookah. He's got the flash release for the first part. But, oh, she gets a nice headshot.
Oh my god.
Oh, the Vandal. One shot, one kill. That's all you need. Oh, she sees the turret. Not only is she killing people, but she's killing robots as well. Ash is just looking to be this, like, this destroyer of everything at this point, and they do have the site on lockdown.
You should run.
This is good Phoenix play. I mean, just look at how she used the Blaze wall, splitting the side in half to make sure that she doesn't have to worry about the elbow angle. She just uses the hot hands to push her way down into spawn as well. Did not get much, but she did buy enough time for her teammates to get the spike down, and now it's going to be the 5v4 retake for Team GG.
Oh, Faith! Oh, that was just bad luck in terms of the timing and the way she turned away in the last second. Nicole with a nice kill there. They do have the site. It's 2-on-2 though. Hunter's Fury just trying to zone here, and Sabini's going to go down, and man, they do pick it off. This is going to be going in 12-7 match point.
Ahead.
Match point.
Match points, and that is Ash just doing all the work, getting the entries. Once Ash opens up sites, it's so much easier for a team to get the spike down. I mean, even if Faith gets caught out of position, they have the numbers advantage to get the information off of kills or deaths. Right now, GG really up against the ropes. I mean, look at their economy, look at their buys, look at their armor as well.
Like, it's funny to me, like, just sometimes you luck out and you get really good players like this, right? In the sense that, like, Lakasi's, like, got Ash on the random team generator, so to speak, and, like, think of it like the other teams that you got, like, me, right? And just how unfair that would be, right?
Super unfair. Not to mention, if Ash were playing against Lakasi, that's her own teammate, so... Well, looks like they will be getting the spike down this time. And the Sylvan player trying to do what she can with her arrows, but I don't think it connects.
They're into A-Tower. Wrap around, hopefully use a little bit of flank action. Drone's going to scout it out, but the smokes are coming. They do need to be careful with how they do this. Shang is trying to go to the lamps. Kamochi with a nice kill onto Ash. That's a good start to this in terms of this retake. Get a second one with on Faith.
Last player standing.
Sticking the spike. Alarm bot goes in. Oh, that just gave away Claire's position. They know she's in there. Not to mention she's down on 16 points of health, and GG are back in the game. It's 12-8, but they're still very, very much alive.
It's just, you gotta look at this one round at a time, right? You can't, you gotta just be like, you can't figure the fact that, like, oh, we need to win, 5 rounds in a row or whatever it is. We just need to kind of take one round at a time, make sure that we play smart, we get our, we hold as well as we can.
Yeah, it's all about that positive mental attitude, right? PMA, you just gotta, who cares? 4 more rounds just to even things up. It's an uphill battle, but we're still very much alive. We're still in this game. We're still breathing. Let's do what we can. Not to mention Karena, 1 kill away from getting her lockdown. Still though, looks like GWTF wants to exploit this weakness of pushing onto the B site. I mean, Ash has been doing such a good job of finding entry onto this site time and time after again.
They know the drone's there. Ash is trying to wallbang it, but unfortunately is not able to. Oh, sees the turret. I don't know if that's a hit. Okay, it is. So she does have run it back if she wants to go, but she's going to wait things out a little bit longer. That said, A is completely wide open for her.
Oh, wait. she forgot about the corner angle. Still, though, looks like Claire will be able to find a kill over onto the back of Hookah. And now they know. The rotates were all on B. This means the A side is open. Let's go for it. Let's go quick.
Yeah, the rotate is happening. The teleport, it's so loud. It's pretty much somebody going on a loudspeaker being like, oh, hey, we're rotating.
Ash is still on B site, though. She's going to walk right into Kamochi, and that is the star fragger for Team GG down. Spike carrier is killed.
30 seconds
They should be able to get it back up immediately.
I have the spike.
Oh, they've got the lockdown, and they're going to run right back into the other teleporter to go back into Hookah, and they're going to try to go into B. This is because, the lockdown was committed. This is a pretty nice rotate there, but it looks like all the teams are starting to make their way back, and this is cat and mouse.
It's cat and mouse. It's a big game of Ring Around the Rosie. Sexy Lanchas does get hurt down to 20 points of health there. Nano Swarm does so much damage, especially if you're staying on it right now, but they do have the information. They hear the footsteps on the sand. Sabiniani the first frag. This is suddenly looking very doable for Team GG.
It's doable, but can they clutch it out? Mikasi, she's blinded to the smoke, is not able to connect on anything. She needs to reload, she needs to back off, she needs to be careful, but she's by herself, stuck in the garden. She gets 1 kill, she dashes away, but it looks like the defuse is about to happen. And yeah, that's going to be about it. But Mikasi gets all of the kills. So the spike actually didn't go down. Nonetheless, it's 12-9. She loses the round, but she wins our hearts.
She wins our hearts indeed. It's also a little bit of economical damage on GG's side as well, but no factor. They're just going to buy up an Odin, in fact, this time. And I mean, that was... You have the numbers advantage. Why don't you just swarm onto Mikasi? They were hiding behind the smoke, and that just kind of allowed Mikasi to take the diffuser down. So a little bit scuffed. Still 12-9. GG very much still in the game. Let's see if they can pull some magic off with this Odin. They're kind of banking on this A site, leaving B all up to Karena.
Yeah, they're going to try to do... I mean, Killjoy can do that. All you need to do is if something goes off, like an alarm bot, the turret dies, or whatever, like you have, that gives away information, right? So they know that Killjoy can kind of hold this. They need to ensure that they secure one site, and it looks like it's going to be A here, but they're going to be a 5 versus 4, as that Killjoy does need to kind of rotate back. Oh, but he gets a nice shot. Starting it off strong. Nicole G gets a kill onto Mikasi as well. But no Phoenix, no Mikasi. This is looking rough for GWTF.
Yeah. It's all up to Claire as well as Sexy Lanchas. Don't count them out though. Sexy Lanchas is pretty strong. She has been getting a couple frags here and there. It's going to be the rotate over from Claire though. Might be even a 200 IQ one as she goes all the way around, back through market, back into A, where she will face off against Komochi. And that's spiked down.
Yeah, this is one of those, like, I'm trying to be 200 IQ, but in actuality, it didn't really pay off like that because, you know, when they can cut off the rotation like that, you're going to get picked off like that.
Exactly. And when you don't have the advantage, when you don't have teammates covering sites and areas for you, you kind of have to treat every single area as if there is a potential threat in there. So running with her knife out, that was just
10
tough.
seconds left.
I mean, the only person that should be running out with knives are, you know, probably Jets or, you know, kids that are 8 or younger. I'm just kidding. Please don't do that.
Somebody clip that. Send that to parents everywhere. Holler some.
By the way, my name is Hey, I'm Quack. Please give me a like and follow. Find me on social media.
I did not say. Nice.
Nonetheless, 12-10. They are clawing their way back. GG are looking to do this. I mean, it's slowly but surely, right?
Slowly but surely. 10-12, and that is why we have a tactical timeout right now. I think GG, they're going to use this time to really think about, all right, this is how they've been pushing. If we can kill Mikasi, if we can kill Ash, we pretty much secure the round. So just make sure that we have these sites on lockdown. Let's get some information and then really ensure that we don't let these players come into the site.
Yeah. I like that, but sometimes it's easier said than done sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Nonetheless, still match point. Okay, this has got to be wearing on them. I mean, I think they were up, what, 12-7?
Yeah, they brought it back. It was 12-7, and now they're at 12-10.
Like, I feel like this is one of those moments where, we just need to win one more round. We can mess around. You know what I mean? We could play around, and, you know, we'll be fine. But in this case, you do not want to give GG any sort of space like this.
Yeah, I mean, if they lose this round, we're looking at a 12-11, and then it's going to be overtime. And that's just going to be tough for GWTF to come back from. I mean, if they lose this map, it's game over. It's single elimination.
Yeah, they need to. I mean, this would be heartbreaking. And the fact that, like, if GG does come back and they win this, I mean, GWTF are out.
Yeah. And that's just, I mean, you lose your chance at earning the 100 Singapore dollars, the 300, the 500 first place prize. That is something that you don't want to have happening. But of course, I mean, you got the lovely Glitch Pop 2.0 skin.
It's so good.
What do you think about the axe, though?
Axe okay. It's okay.
You know, speaking of knives, the only knife that you want to kind of have running as a kid, you run out with it, is the Blast Axe, the Nerf knife.
The Nerf one? Yeah. I was going to say the candy cane. That one.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? I would say that's somewhat safe.
I don't know. You know, if you smack it against a wall enough times, it actually breaks and turns into a pointed candy cane. It's still deadly.
Nice.
Well, Karina with the Odin.
It's going to hold it down. What do you think about this skin?
What is the skin, actually? Looks like a graffiti type thing. But, well, it looks like they hear the Odin. Here comes the smokes. They're going for somewhat of a set execute this time, GWTF. They want to make the full push onto B site. It's going to be the Molotov into spawn, in fact, to cut them off. Casey secured her the little corner, but Komochi's just waiting for the off angle to pay off. Instead, it's Ash who gets the pick, and this will be a very, very painful round for GG right now.
Oh, Hunter's Fury is going to be used and committed for this one, but Nicole is going to wrap around trying to get the flank onto Hookah. They're not going to expect it. They're going to know that somebody's there. The turret is on point. Oh, but the flash is there, and they weren't able to see this, and Claire goes down.
Okay. Casey's still very much alive, though. Nicole clearing out the corners, misses the initial shot. It's going to be the Vandal who comes into play. Another headshot, in fact, but Karina, the Odin, wallbanging everything. And here comes the defuse. She needs to hold off. Oh, what?
Spray pray. Sometimes they just walk into your crosshairs and it just makes it very easy. Karina. I mean, it's kind of hard to miss when you've got 100 bullets, so to speak.
Yeah.
So really nice play there. But it's 12-11. Are we going to go to overtime?
Are we going to go into overtime? I don't know, man. I mean, if this Odin says anything, we certainly are. I mean, Jesus, take the wheel. You spray and play, pray, just left click and hold, and sometimes you get magical headshots. I mean, if we can take a look at GWTF's economy right now, I mean, if they are on another, you know, econ, this could be painful.
I mean, they're buying out. They want us. They want to close this out, but they haven't been able to do it. I mean, we saw the initial pick from Ash just like jumping out of Hookah, like a superhero in that sense, but like they weren't able to follow up, and just their defense has been on point. GG's that is, and having the Odin here just makes it very difficult to make any sort of approach.
Okay, establishing a little bit of presence. Ash does have her ultimate ability, and that could be big value. Both Molotovs committed into the site. Not to mention attacker Killjoy in play. This will give them the spike plant, but it's all up to GWTF to come in with a retake. I mean,
got the spike. The lockdown's not going to actually detain anybody. It's going to be a little bit of a zoning one. At least they got the spike off, but now they need to walk into the site. This might be a difficult retake.
Yeah, they only have about 40 seconds left on the clock right now. Cold G,
Joke's
they're
over.
trying
You're
to
dead.
use Komochi to bait out some of the rotates while the rest of the team pushes in from spawn and elbow. The Koji wants to clear out these corners, but the crossfire angle, she does take one off the board. Still 3v4.
Hiding in the garden. Oh, she's able to turn that around. Nice little twitchy fingers there, and ends up getting the pick there. And there we go, 13-11. They do finally close it out. They just try to make it as dramatic as possible. GWTF 1-1 back in this.
13-11. That was a beautiful flick from Claire.
Wow. And Mikasi actually ended up with more kills to end the game. I did not expect that. Well, I mean, in a way, I did expect it, and I didn't because of the fact. I mean, but Ash was just on a roll, right?
Yeah.
The fact that, like, you know, top two, 32 and 30, right? Like, okay, if I have teammates that are getting 32 and 30 kills in a game, I could probably win with them. You know what I mean? Like, I could ride on the coattails. Like, I think I would have a good time.
You most certainly will. But of course, Mikasi, the MVP of this one map right now, they just wanted to arrive fashionably late to the party.
Yeah, I mean, they were so close in that sense. Just really, really tight back and forth action. I mean, not to take away anything from Sexy Lanchez, Claire, and Faith, of course. All of these guys were like completely on point and just doing what they needed to do to put their team in a position to win. Sometimes you just don't get those kills, and those guys are just kind of racking them up. I mean, you might have done a lot of damage that kind of added onto it, which is great. But unfortunately, this is the case for them, and they're back into it. It's going to be 1-1 going into the last game, and this is what we wanted in these best of threes. We want to go to the distance.
We want to go the distance. The next map is going to be Ascent. And that is going to be a tough one for these two teams. I mean, it's the one that I feel is the most puggy in a way. The potential for adapting to opponents' plays just because how open and big the entire middle section of the map is.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right, so we'll talk about that more as we go into the next one. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, of course, at Intel and Yahoo for providing all of this stuff, as well as, you know, this is FSL Showdown is going to be amazing, and it's going to go into and lead into FSL Open, which is going to happen later in March. So please do stay tuned. Of course, this is all for female gamers and all throughout Asia, so we're seeing the best of the best in that sense. And this is a nice little tournament and they're playing for about $1,000 in terms of prize pool, so there's a lot at stake. My name is Holler. This is Hey, I'm Quack, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Yeah.
Right up alongside Ash.
Yeah, she completely like picked it up. Like just the fact that like sometimes it's like as the role and responsibility of a captain to just like take the team, put it on your back, and just go, right?
Sometimes you just got to take the reins and start really delegating roles here and there as well. And that's why you can see sometimes they were rotating at the perfect moments. You know, I think GWTF, they tried to outmaneuver GWTF at times, but then Mikasi really just stepped things up. But of course, Komochi on Team GG as well. She really had a lot of impactful frags, not to mention as a Reyna.
Yeah. Look at the difference in terms of like the average combat score. 378, 238, a pretty big difference there. But KDA, I mean, 32-15-4 versus the 17-9 and 8. This is one of those times that you kind of need to just like, where's the divide? How can I get better? These are the things that you can look to improve. Obviously, we're just comparing just two players at this point, but you know, all the things that you can look at when you're looking to improve your own play is to kind of just like look at the data, right? In terms of the stats, what could I be doing? Like how I could be getting more kills? What else should I be contributing to?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the stats right here, they really just speak to Mikasi's skill. I mean, she knows exactly where to position herself. She knows how to control the recoil of her gun. But Komochi, you know, this is actually really interesting. She has not been in any esports team, I think. And this is her first time playing in FSL Showdown. I have not seen her before in the previous last year's FSL Valorant Opens. And the fact that she actually picked up that MVP card, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. And this is the great opportunity that FSL does, in the sense that you have an opportunity, even in these cases where you don't have a team, you can actually show your abilities, and you can kind of really shine in these kinds of cases. So, like, this is a great opportunity for that. You know, female gamers throughout all of Asia, you should be looking into FSL. I mean, they don't just do Valorant, they do, you know, other games as well. So, like Dota, you know, so just kind of look out for them. Just kind of give them a like and subscribe. And, of course, we're going to go into the third map here. It's going to be Ascent. And if we're looking at picks, straight up Jets, I see Killjoys, Omen, Brim. We kind of talked about that, but it looks like this is the difference. Phoenix is going to be sticking with Ash in that sense, and but the Sova, and look on the other side, no Sova.
It's fairly similar to what we just saw on Bind, but of course, Sova is actually a very strong pick on Ascent, right? I mean, you have that tried and patented Sinatra from Sentinel's play, just shooting the recon bolt every single time over into B main. It clears out so much, not to mention actually shooting the recon bolt over onto A main. You get so much information off of that, and that just allows you to pick up easy frags. The way the map is laid out, you definitely, as an attacker, you would want mid control, because once you have mid control, you can really kind of formulate plays along either side. But of course, it's going to be a little bit difficult, and that's where utility comes into play. You need to smoke off your sites, whether it's market or pizza or a short. You need to be careful about how you want to approach these places.
So, in terms of this map, though, obviously the mid is kind of important in that sense. It's a little different than the last one that we saw in terms of Bind, just with the teleporters and really not having this opportunity. Now, going into this one, what do you do differently? Do you prioritize mid more? Do you look to just spread it out? What is your go-to strategy?
Here.
Go-to strategy, if you're playing ranked, you kind of just wait out for your opposing team to see what they do, right? Because once they tend to get antsy at times, and they'll start trying to push and peek, and that's where you can punish them. But of course, as an attacker right now, you kind of have 2 alt orbs for free. They're staring right at you. One's over in B main, one's over in A main, and they're kind of situated where it's kind of positioned nicely for you to pick it up. As a defender, it's a little bit out of reach, right? See Mikasi right now, if she wants to pick up that ult orb, she has to push up all the way into A main right now, where she will be exposed. If she starts picking this up, they're going to hear it, they're going to peek her, and she will get taken down just like that. 5v3 already, right out the get-go.
Yeah, they were so patient. They were trying to bait out the ultimate orb. And so here we go. It looks like the Lear's going to go on in. Faith is just going to slow it down, throw out the smokes, just try to keep herself alive. But no, Nicole not letting her do that. She goes to the high ground. She's got the updraft. She's looking just great. She has to reload and she backs up. She does die. Michelle, though, is looking to clean this up and does so.
Really, really easily dismissed just like that. And that is what I'm talking about. As an attacker, you don't necessarily have to go in with the rush all the time. Just wait for your opponents because they tend to want to push out. You know, people aren't always so patient. And that's exactly what happened with Mikasi back there. She pushed up, didn't pick up the orb, but of course the peaks were perfect from JIJI.
I mean, this is one of those things where they were literally all waiting. Pizza, right? Like in the sense that they were just like, they knew somebody's going to do it. They get the sound cue. All four of them turn around the corner and they're just going to pick them off. And they made Mikasi pay for that. So like just a really nice heads-up play, something to kind of do and you need to be worried about.
Well, that's interesting. It's a different recon bolt, but she does spot every single one of them out. Look at that. Shock dart into play as well, and that'll slow them down just by a bit. Claire gets taken out on the off angle. Mikasi, though, just dashes right into their backs.
I mean, the shorty's there, hit shot twice, and it's like, I'm out of bullets, and then it's the longest reload. She turns it around, but it's going to be 2 versus 5. Faith just doing what she can. She's trying to reload, trying to fight this one. And this is like a straight econ round, so unfortunately, they get flawless.
2-0 to start things off. Very, very favorable start for JIJI right now. I mean, I would say that this map is somewhat defender-sided just because you can... Anytime you push onto a site, you have to clear out so many angles as an attacker. But they've been pushing out of defender positions, GWTF, and that's just kind of punishing them right now. So 2-0, not too bad. This will be GWTF buying back in this round with a full buy. And JIJI, they need to be a little bit more careful now.
Yeah, looks like they're going to maybe do the same thing. They're kind of, yeah, they're just like holding this. This is the same strategy, right? So they're just trying to put out the honey, so to speak. To see what sort of, what sort of animal that they can trap here. But Ash is going to be super patient, not let it do it. She backs away. Wow. She sees at least the Reyna.
She actually does do quite a bit of damage onto the Reyna as well. I mean, look at that red health. She needs to stay alive, though. The door has not been shut down yet. They've scoped out the entirety of Heaven site. They want to probably get the door closed, but it has been shot down. So now it's all up to Nicole G to see if she can lock down the Heaven corner. Mikasi, though, will take her down, and now it's suddenly going to be GWTF's round.
One enemy
that
remaining.
Was difficult. I mean, they had like a Venn diagram of smokes on Heaven, right? So it was very difficult to kind of find anybody. And unfortunately, when you're trying to go up, it's a little bit more difficult because you don't have those sound cues, and the walking is a little different. And unfortunately, not able to pick that off. And it looks like Komochi is just going to kind of just chill all the way back in Wine and probably just wait this one out.
Yeah.
By the way, this skin is amazing.
Ion Phantom. Yeah, it sometimes, it gives you that extra confidence boost, but at the end of the day, confidence up against 5 players, not to mention Ash is the one that you're going up against. And Ash has an Ion Phantom of her own, so 2-1 is the score right now, and that was just a beautiful, beautiful executed round from GWTF.
Yeah, good round. I mean, Ash has got the run it back. There's could be a, definitely, they're in a position to be in a very strong one in at least this round here.
I love what GWTF are doing as well. I mean, on A site, they've been shutting the door down early on purpose and then taking it down so that JIJI won't have that option of locking down the garden angle anymore.
Do you do that more as on defense?
Not
you do it yourself,
always,
or
right?
Yeah, okay.
Which is why it's a very interesting thing, and they're doing that. It's kind of this double-edged sword because you won't have that safe respite. You won't be able to hide behind the door anymore. But at the same time, you just kind of ensure that the attackers, if they try to push through, they won't be able to shut the door down.
Yeah. But like I've seen people even into Garden where you break the window, right? Like I even as a defender, I was just like, I don't know if that's like I like the sound cue. I like the fact that like I know what's coming. Generally speaking, the attackers will be going.
Launching smoke. Dim beacon here.
It looks like they're just gonna ignore all of those anyway. They have information that it's gonna be a play through from Garden. Faith trying to stay alive right now. The Leers are going through, and this is gonna be a full-on split from Team GG. The attacker Killjoy has to play for lockdown as well, but Claire with a spray down stops them completely. Corey now comes in with a double kill of her own though, and that will get them to spike down.
It was a nice spray there. I mean, she's got lucky. She just ran out of bullets at one point, but Karina nonetheless gets the spike down. They're going to back off here, and they're going to just kind of hold it all the way from the mid. Ooh. Oh, but Ash is in position.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, the swarm?
Oh my gosh, Ash.
With a run it back, you might as well. At least a half. Karina with a nice kill there. All the way into Guardian. Oh, she gets burned!
Oh no.
Not like this! Not like this!
Not like
I didn't see how much HP she had, but apparently she didn't have much.
Not much at all. I mean, I think it was maybe even less than 20. It's kind of like that thing where, you know, if you're playing Doom from id Software and the Doom Slayer drops into the pool of lava and with the thumbs up, it's just
yeah. All right, so 2-2 here. And again, this is the last match. Loser goes home. There is nothing else after this. Winner, though, is at least guaranteed 100 SGD. So there's a lot at stake in that sense.
Find the leverage and wedge it open.
Could be personal.
Could be.
No.
But it's just like what Killjoy's saying, right? Find a leverage and make it personal. You got to find your leverage points. And right now, I don't think A is the answer for Team GG. Every time they've tried to go through the Killjoy nano swarms, the lockdowns, it's proved to be too much for them. And now Mikasi has an operator as well. It's going to be a little bit problematic, but it looks like they're just going to play things a little bit slow.
They had like a powwow in the back in spawn. They were kind of like, let's talk about it. Maybe we can
let's do a huddle.
Yeah. We need it's a timeout, but they didn't actually like the game wasn't paused or anything. It was just like, oh, we're just gonna do it in game. But nonetheless, I mean, you're getting in people's heads, right? In the sense that you're gonna do things that are differently. And their positioning are going to be very different for the enemies as well.
Yeah, I mean, just look at this. Ash is already pushed up over onto B main. Oh.
No, you don't.
She does get a free kill off of that, but now that her position has been exposed, it allows Nicole to push in. Does a little bit of damage, but does not get the kill. And Ash is able to heal herself back up just like
30
that.
seconds left.
Even locking out the mid angle as well. Komochi looks like she has disconnected. Back into the game, though, but 3v5, things are not looking good for GG right now.
Ash with a 3K in this round. Like, mechanically, like, you can see that she's so very comfortable with Phoenix. The fact that, like, she's doing everything, throwing things around, and she's got 100 life.
Left.
So, really, like, nothing to worry about, so to speak.
That's right. 78 now, but still just as good. Sees the turret, takes it down. Defenders have this, but let's see if Ash can get another kill. Oh.
No.
Last player standing.
Oh, she dies as well. So, okay. Got something out of this. All right, here we go. Karina gets thrown the spike. Sometimes when I'm not having a great game, and people will throw the spike onto me, because I'm just like the human token, like in the sense of like, I just need to plant the spike and that's it. Like, I can't get kills, so they're trying to get value out of me.
Hey, the spike planter is also a very, very important role. If no one plants the spike.
Oh, really? Because every time I feel like they give me the spike, I feel like they're painting a bullseye on me. You know what I mean? They're like, I need you to go in front, and then, you know, hey, we'll follow, we'll back up, back you up.
Maybe. But, well, despite that, it looks like Mikasi will be the one to open things up over onto B main. It just looks like GG aren't able to find a single answer right now.
Sorry,
Even getting taken down. Nicole G just peeking out of that B link corner. And that just kind of gave Ash all this free roam to push up.
Yeah, and this is the power of what Ash has done. Like, her responsibility is the mid lane. Okay, as I say that, you compliment somebody and they die, right? So nonetheless, the mid lane is great because of the fact that you have different areas, right? And you can kind of just force it. But unfortunately, she did trade, so it's not the worst thing, but it's 1 for 1. And she put her team in a position to win, especially since it's 4 versus 3.
4-1, not too bad. Nice little smoke as well to deter the aggression from Team GG. They should be making a rotate happen right now, though, but This is such a strong position for Makasi to be playing. Over from Market, she can lock down the B main push if she needs to. At the same time, she can rotate out over onto mid if someone decides to cross
30
over.
seconds left.
And is it more of the map, or what is it? Because it seems like this entire game is completely slowed down. Like before, there would be like impact, like everybody just go, 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 go. And then this one is like, we'll get a cup of tea before we go in, kind of thing.
I'm going to say it's partially the map, but at the same time, it's also GWTF's really strong defense right now. I mean, just look at Makasi. She's shooting op shots time and time out again. That's a second one already. I think that was the third in this round. Of course, players that want to clean things up, but 4-2. GG are not having a good day at all.
So I guess, how do you deal with this? What do you do differently?
You gotta, think about what the threats are on the other team and somehow think of ways to eliminate them. Either go for the kills or smoke them off. Make sure that they won't be able to gain vision over onto you.
All right, Makasi and Ash, I know are my threats, okay? Now what do I do? Pray to Jesus? What do I do?
You buy an Odin, pray to Jesus, go with the spray and pray.
Like,
nah, I'm just kidding.
Like light some candles, get some incense. Like what is the how do I deal with this two-headed monster, so to speak?
A lot of different ways, right? So we know that Ash is sort of this Phoenix, Sentry, Fragger, Duelist type person. Meanwhile, Makasi, she fields out both roles because she has an operator. She also goes in with these really offensive pushes at times. So you can smoke her out, go for a jiggle piece, try to figure out where she is, and really figure out how you want to take those fights. If she's operating with an operator, you come in real close, she might miss her shot at the point-blank range. But right now, Nicole G has this off angle. If someone pushes in from defender spawn without clearing it, she will be able to get the kill.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold that. That's a really tight angle, so to speak. And it looks like they're not actually going to go for this. I mean, 3 vs 5. Oh, GOT just walks forward, and that's the problem, right? You got to check all of your angles and potential, blind spots.
That's exactly what you want to have happen. I mean, I don't know what happened with Ash at the start of the round, but Makasi towards the end there, she couldn't do her operating works. All thanks to the Omen smoke. It clears off the entirety of that market corner. I mean, she won't be able to gain any vision whatsoever. Not to mention, coupled with a Sova recon dart, it's such a strong tool when you have a recon dart and a smoke, because you're able to use the smoke as this kind of extra wall, and you're just able to see beyond that wall thanks to recon ball.
Right. Okay, and it looks like they've kind of figured out at least one solution to this puzzle, so to speak, in the sense that, like, yeah, Ash is still going to stick around market and mid, but as I say that, Makasi gets a nice little pick off the start of the round.
Very, very nice. Nicole G just kind of missing a bit with that jiggle peek. Wasn't fast enough. And this just speaks volumes about Makasi's reactions. Now she's peeking at the right time again. That's a second kill. Now looking for the third.
Oh, Makasi! Your hero, she got the knives out. She wants this. Oh, she gets shot down out of the air. That's what happens when you try to fly. She thought she was a superhero, but in fact she was not, and they say nay.
That was a little bit greedy.
Down.
But of course, it's already information gathered. They know that the remaining GG players are over by mid. Faith is there to smoke things out as well.
Backing off here, and it's just like this, they're looking for sound cues, some sort of information to get going, but there's the drone. Yeah, Faith will back off here, try not to give away his position as it zips into A here, but
30 seconds left.
Oh, does spot him. Does spot him. Faith was on his, I don't know if you saw that, but he was on his little
PDA.
His PDA, yeah. Calling his mom. It's like, Mom, I'll call you later. And he gets droned out.
Not right now, I'm in a tournament.
No, you can't pause a multiplayer game, Mom.
Mom. I've got $100 on the line. I'll eat lunch later.
Good shot here. Around. Okay, Sexy Lanches gets a 2K to finish that round. And 5-3, here we go.
That's right. Sexy Lanches says, Mom, calm down, love. I'm trying to clutch this game. Yeah. And that's going to be GWTF very much in control right now. GG just still trying to find ways to enter, but once they have players like Makasi throwing a wrench into their plans, it really falls apart for them.
All right, the only thing I'm sad about is the fact that this is single in-limb, right? In the sense that one of these teams need to go home, or are going to go home. I don't think they need to, but I think, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those moments where It's unfortunate that we're not able to just watch these two teams play the entire time because things like that, Nicole with a nice play on McCoffey. Real jet there. Oh! Hey! Just holding the line. Gets a 2K there, retreats, gets back in, and heals back to full.
Come on, let's go!
She is holding the line. She gets a little bit of information off that, buys a little bit of time, gets another kill as well, and allows for the Hunter's Fury to connect on the Sabiniani. And Mesheng is the last one alive. 1v2. Let's go.
1v2, but he's by himself, and or she's by herself. Oh, by herself! She gets one shot, able to not run away. And this is the thing: when you get shot, you get slowed down, so you become like this turtle, so to speak. Yeah. Like you get stuck. So not able to clutch that one out. But 6-3, GWTF have taken it, you know, to heart in the sense that they weren't even voted in the top 5 in the fan poll, and they were like, "GG, I'm taking you down."
I am taking you down, indeed. And of course, Mikasi, I mean, I've talked about this before. She plays for Affinity Esports, and they have been showing up pretty strongly in the FSL Valorant Opens. But like you said earlier, man, I mean, it is a little bit sad that it is single Ilum, but if you want to see more of these girls, these players and their teams, their full teams, this is where you got to watch out for the FSL Open, Valorant Open circuit that comes up, like you said, on March, right? You got to like the FSL Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Twitch channel, and you'll be able to see more of these players when the time comes for that.
Oh, the drone providing a lot of vision there. Shock Dart just kind of zoning him out. Storm will just kind of zone him out. But they're going to be heavy into mid right now. He does be careful in terms of how they approach this. The door has been closed in the market. That's going to open it up. Nicole's trying to make her way around. Shock Dart, stim. Spotted, but not able to connect her shots. Nicole goes down. Sexy Launcha is making plays.
And this is where it starts to get a little bit iffy because you're stuck in this market position, and that allows for Ash to make a couple plays. It's a 3v2 at this point. Mikasi needs to stay alive with her operator, and then she'll be able to lock down the B site.
All right, Hunter's Fury going to be committed here. Mikasi's all the way into boat. She's looking to just kind of scout things out here. They do have the site, but she misses the shot. Mikasi, really? What happened?
30 seconds left.
I think she moved. And the running accuracy just... Oh, but that was a headshot! What a flick!
Oh, but you get shot in the back of the head, and your soul is being sucked right now by Komochi. Gets the spike down. She's by herself. She's overhealed as she goes, tries to go for the Empress, but she gets picked off, and not enough time. Claire will just step on top of her body, loot her gun, steal her lunch money, and they will go for the defeat.
Oh, no.
Right here.
Yeah, you think you're going to Empress on me? I'm taking your lunch money. And of course, that's not what you want to have happen. I think the Empress was wasted back there. And now they're just going to give the defuse over onto Faith as she will pick up her final ult point for the orbital strike.
Yeah, this is, I mean, I don't know. When I see, like, Brimstone, I was like, okay, he's got his ult. It's like, it's all right, but, like, I don't know. Maybe I would prefer somebody else to have their ult instead.
Yeah.
Is it just me? Or, I mean, I play a lot of Brimstone myself, so... As a Brimstone player, I would rather see, like, you know, Jet get her knives or, you know, and Phoenix run it back. Like, I feel like there's a little bit more value.
It's certainly a thing to consider, but it's just that when she has, like, 6 out of 7, then they might as well give it on to her, you know?
Yeah, okay. All right, now they're trading for guns here. Looking for, it's all about the skins. It's all about
good. You ever do that thing where, I think someone posted it on Reddit once, all 5 players just stare at the center, like, make a circle, and then everyone just dump your guns, and whichever one you pick up, that's the one you stick with. That's the skin you get.
Nice. Actually, like, the skins in this game are amazing, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. Glitch Pop 2.0, man, I mean... I love the sound that when you fire. I mean, sometimes I'm a little bit confused by it because I'm just so used to the default Vandal, but you know, it feels very cyberpunky.
Yeah. And I mean, like some of the skins have like the kill animations and all that, and I'm just like, it's not like I get any kills anyway, so I'll never do that. But I mean, in terms of just looking good, right? I might as well get this skin.
Yes, style points is what it is. Not to mention style points from Mikasi back there. What was it? Yeah, it was Mikasi. She got a really, really nice headshot, but then towards the end just got shot in the back from Komochi. Right now, it looks like they want to dedicate their efforts over onto A site.
I don't know if they're going to go for A site or they're going to rob this store right here. It looks like they want that cheese and that wine. Look at them. Like, guys, hey, we got to go to A site. Come on, we got to plant a spike. Let's go.
No, we want cheddar. We want brie. What else we got? I mean, there was a mozzarella, a team mozzarella being led by.
I mean, them I would understand if they wanted to rob this place, right? But like here, they're looking for gelato. They're looking for, I mean, cheese and wine. I mean, guys, let's be professional here. This is an esports tournament.
It's an esports tournament with a $1,000 prize pool. That's what that is what's on the line. So they got to be careful. 7-3 right now, and GG really need to make a comeback. I mean, they need as many rounds as possible for when they switch over onto the defender side. So far, they've been having a tough time. This Owl drone will definitely give information for Faith.
Smoke.
And there is the smoke. Certainly will deter them just
You
by a bit.
should run.
Oh, that drone.
Molly.
Spot him out. They've got the molly, though, and that's going to zone him out a little bit. Nobody really wants to walk into this. Yeah. Looks like they've got the Killjoy locked down, but Makasi with a nice play kills Nicole G to start things off.
This is not the answer for Team GG. They've already committed onto this side a little bit too early. It allows Makasi to win really nicely. She will be able to get the door down, and then just opens up another avenue of entry for Team GWTF.
Claire stuck in the hell. Oh, she's the back of the head. And that definitely hurts more than the front of the face, I would say. I don't know. Headshots. But Orbital Bombardment is going to just zone. Claire whips out, gets another one. And he looks at the giant Orbital Bombardment coming out of nowhere. And Corinna is going to be the last one surviving.
Corinna's got some lineups, but I don't know if it's going to do much as all three are just going to push into the smoke to find Corinna with a headshot. And that brings us to an 8-3. Like, I don't know.
Last round before the
I mean,
switch.
GWTF have just looked stronger and stronger as they've gone on through the day, right? Which has been super impressive if you think about it. Because, they were 9-9 in the first match or whatever, and they ended up losing. But they were not phased at all. They came back in the second match, and they're looking very strong here. Definitely in the driver's seat, being up 8-3.
All eyes on Ash and Makasi right now. I mean, just the way that she's been playing this operator, the positions that she gets herself into, it's almost like she's walking right towards GG every single time. I mean, right now they're trying to go towards B site, and that is where she's lurking. Gets the shot off, turns it into 5v4, and now the fear is over onto GG's side.
Not much you can do. Ash is just holding that line. Oh, Killjoy's not even looking the right way. The spike is down. The drone will scout it out, but it doesn't really matter. She does go down, so she got something out of this. The drone is just people like a giant bug in that sense, but Sexy Launch is completely distracted by it. Nicole G gets that kill.
Get out of my way.
Let's see if Makasi can find anything this time. It looks like they might actually rotate over onto A, though. And that could work. Makasi staying over on B site. She could watch this mid angle. Misheng is over on A, but she got spotted out by the turret, and that's going to be a big problem.
Yeah, big problem, but Nicole thinking that she's strong. She's got the knives out. Okay, all right. She's got an actual gun now. So she's got 3 versus 2, but she hasn't planted it. Yo, like, Nicole, maybe you should put out the knives away and then maybe plant the spike.
I think that's what she'll do right now, but Faith is trying to make a play happen, gets deleted by Nicole instead. And that brings us to an 8-4. A fairly decent round for GG. They made the perfect call, knowing when to rotate, and that just really took Makasi out of the equation, giving them the win. But right now, 4-round difference. They need to win 4 rounds just to equalize the board.
Yeah. And in a must-win round, I mean, you cannot be not down 9-3 going into the second half, right? So 8-4, which is still a tough road to climb, so to speak, but it's within the realm of possibility at this point, especially since we talked about how, being defensive is a little bit favored in this one. So let's just see what Team GG can do here.
Looking at the buys, I mean, what do you think of this? You have a couple of light armor over on GWTF's side. They are attacking. We have a frenzy. Meanwhile, GG, they have not gone for a single armor buy. It's all ghosts, and I think 1 classic.
You got to hit your shots. You know what I mean? You're pretty much a glass cannon at this point, right? You got no chance. That said, I feel like there's a little bit more utility that's required from the attackers. That's why you see a little bit more of a mixed bag. That said, I feel like all you need, as long as you got 2 ghosts on your team, you're okay. But Ash going down there is a bit of a problem.
Komochi, she's hitting her shots. Now she's looking for the second MVP of her team, and it looks like she'll back off. They have the spike, though, so not sure why she's backing up there. course, the rest of the team are just holding steadfast, staying on their positions, waiting for a push from GWTF.
You're ever so patient here. They're not overcommitting. I mean, they're down a player, so like how they do this is going to be very. It's going to be pretty huge in terms of how they do this. Can she actually get the shot? Oh, she gets one shot. She dismisses away, and that's just not enough time, though. Sexy Lanches makes her pay.
Nicole G is going to break the door. Of course, it does take up an entire magazine, though. And it looks like it's going to be an A-split push from GWTF. Still very doable for them to take this round.
I don't like where the crosshair placement was, but she ends up getting the headshot. That flick, Mikassi's just making plays. She's been revealed here, so she does need to be a little bit careful, but it looks like she's on this site. The turret is kind of scouting it out in the sense that it's firing. It does spot out somebody, gets a pick off. What?
Oh, no. And that is the strength of a Killjoy. All you need is a nanoswarm and a turret on the site itself. You don't even have to show yourself. And that will net GG the win. Nice way to start things off over in the second half. But of course, I think things just really fell apart once the spike carrier was killed for GWTF. They need to be a little bit more careful about how they want to approach these sites. You cannot have the spike carrier leading the charge.
Yeah. I think that's something I've learned in my pub games, being designated spike carrier. You don't want to go first. Oh, the alarm bot. She dashes away. Mikassi's in there, but there's a boat, and she does end up getting the kill with the nano swarms. So she got tremendous value out of this. And she's stuck inside the boat. And a shock dart killing Claire as well.
Oh,
and a knife kill Mikassi with a disrespect.
Mikassi's just playing whack-a-mole with Karina. And now Komochi will be able to find one. It turns it into a 2v3. They're both coming in from the lane. And that's Nicole G with the simple ghost flick back and forth, netting them the win. It's a very, very nice comeback from GG right now, 8-6.
All right, Mikassi, I think you need to put the knives away, like the literal knife, right? I mean, it's one thing to ult it and to go in, but look, okay, the reason for this is that you kill killer a lot faster, and then you could help out your team and support, right? It's all about, seconds. People were dying left and right, and you're just like trying to knife the person, right?
Yeah, well, it's, again, style points. You have fun. Maybe you ran out of ammo. You do what you got to do. You get the kill.
You know what's fun? Winning. And you know how you win? You help the team.
You help the team by getting a kill, dude.
No, I'm saying that if she pulled out her gun, killed her faster, she would have been able to get some more kills from the other people.
Oh, no. Well, let's see if she'll be able to do that this round. Gotta make your shots count, This is going to be the full-on A-side execute from Team GWTF. They're rushing out to the site, and now Mikassi's trying to clear it, but Karina actually is just hiding over it. I think she hears the reload.
She knows something is up, but she actually hasn't stepped up. That's it. Komochi actually walked in. I think she got a little bit of wall bang, and the smoke dissipates. She actually says surprise because she killed her. And she gets looked for the second one and the third, and she's racking them up, Karina. And here comes, she's got the lockdown, and she wants to go. She's going to plant that. Zone it out a little bit. You might as well at this point.
You might as well. Sexy Lanches has no choice but to run and hide. A recon vault is only going to do so much. You still need to get the kills, but it's going to be Mishang who comes in with a defuse. And this is free rifles for Team GG right now, 8-7.
I mean, Mikassi there, assume that she cleared out hell, and the fact that she didn't, that was a pretty big mistake here. Nonetheless, we got a quick little pause here. It's going to be 8-7, and they've come back in that sense, and I think they've won, 5 rounds in a row coming back into the first half?
Oh, yeah. Not to mention Karina right now suddenly at the top of the scoreboard for her team. 8-7. Very, very nice. And right now, we're going to have a pause coming in as we sort out some connection issues. But so far, I mean, this is definitely, you have the defender advantage, but of course, GG has been playing it really, really well to their advantage. Karina hiding in the smokes, hiding over in the back. It's just a little bit too aggressive, I think, in that round from GWTF.
Yeah. And, I don't know. It seems like they've been completely thwarted here. GWTF, of course. You think you're in a great position being up 8-4. But again, this is one of those defensive favored maps. So you're not really done. You haven't finished the job, so to speak. And Team GG are coming back storming.
Storming indeed. I mean, just look at how they're positioned up right now. I mean, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. Nicole G, she has her op, and she's trying to do what Makasi was doing to them back in the first half. Playing this position over by B main, she might be able to get an early pick, and then she'll be able to rotate back over into market. Very, very versatile tool, but of course, right now, we do have GWTF. They're the ones that we need to watch out for. How are they going to attack these sites?
And I feel like they've kind of hit a brick wall, right? They did a little like shenanigans in terms of like being patient and things like that, but I feel like right now they're like, I don't think they really have an answer.
Not so much, huh? And again, that's just the kind of the beauty of playing Valorant, especially on a map like Ascent. It's you get problems presented to you each and every round, and it's all a question of how you're going to solve them.
Yeah.
What are the different ways you can use to soften up the defenses and try to find your way in?
Yeah, yeah. It's funny that you say problems because my teammates are always like, oh, I'm the problem, so that's why we're losing.
Chat, if you think Holler is a problem, type in Holler is a problem. I don't think you're a problem.
Thank you.
It's always
It's
nice
because we've never played together.
Well, I don't know. You know, drop in your Riot
I
ID in the chat somewhere. Maybe some people will add you. You could get some games going.
Well, I mean, okay, it's for me, like I play like Cypher, right? Like generally, he's my main. I play Breach and I also play Brimstone, right? Just because I like their goatees and mustaches. But for me in Cypher, he's the type where I need to just stay alive because I play a little bit more tentatively, very defensive. And just staying alive, obviously, you get a little bit more value in terms of what he can provide. So that's kind of where I go. But in terms of your agent pool?
Oh, I tend to go for Omen, Brimstone, and the occasional Phoenix. I mean, most of the time people like to lock in duelists. So
yeah,
kind of have no choice but to go for a smoker role. But at the same time, I mean, that's the thing. It's not always about the kills. Yeah. It's always about the how the strategy comes forth and how you want to formulate your plans around these different toolkits that you have. Yeah. And that is why in the previous round over on Bind, a lot of the victories were credited, I think. I mean, yeah, we did see Makasi and Ash getting a lot of fancy kills here and there, but at the same time, Faith has been absolutely nailing these smokes. She knows exactly where to place them, and it's not out of position. Not to mention her teammates, the Sovas, the Killjoys. You got to appreciate your Sovas and Killjoys.
True. I do feel that. But I started this game with Sova, actually, and then I realized that, like, my geometry wasn't good enough to really play this guy. You know what I mean? In the sense that, like, you got to be kind of on point. I mean, you just have to have the right arrows, and, like, I don't know if my IQ is high enough to get those 200 IQ arrows.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm, like, negative IQ.
I have no idea. You don't have negative. I have no idea how these players come up with these lineups, but, of course, there are a lot of resources online, and just looking at how Sabiniani is trying to play this Recon Bolt right now, it's the one that we always see. You shoot it over into B main, you get clear information. If someone shoots it down, you know there's someone there. If not, either you get tagged or you know that there is no one over in B main, and that means through the process of deduction, they're probably around mid or A.
And I feel like, I mean, do you like Sova in pubs?
Depends. If they are good Sovas, they are really good. If they're bad Sovas and they don't really provide much, they're cannon fodder.
So maybe you have played with me.
Maybe. But of course, this is a very strong tool. I mean, just having the Recon Vault, if someone gets tagged, she's going to spray the Odin all throughout the wall, and that's just going to net her pretty much a free kill if she's able to connect it.
Right. All right, so look at it. Did you see the fruit on the floor? Like next to underneath the motorcycle here? What is the deal here? Like, yo, like this market is like, are you selling it? Are you just going to like clean it up? What are you going to do? This seems like a very dirty market.
It's a market that has been hit by Valorant agents.
Yeah. And another thing is that like when you see the explosions, Like no buildings, no like trucks, nothing explodes.
Do you ever get into Valorant lore?
No. Not
so
really.
I do a little bit. I'm a bit of a nerd that way, but
no judgment here. Go on.
Of course, I mean we gotta look at the lovely fish. Thanks to our lovely observer. But yeah, it's the reason why it's not really a full-on explosion. It's because the spike is a thing that steals radionite. And radionite is like this energy source or something. And that's the green boxes or crates that you see across the maps here and there.
Oh, I thought it was like when the explosion happens, anybody in the explosions, like it turns off their pacemakers. And everybody had one. And then everybody, they're just old people.
You EMP.
Yeah, you EMP and they're like, oh, we're dead.
Heart attack.
Yeah.
That got a little bit dark.
Sorry. I didn't know where to go with this.
Holler is a problem in the chat. Like, you know, he gets things dark. We're trying to have a nice casual conversation going, but
people, no one thinks I'm a problem, except for my mom.
But of course, right now, I mean, we're seeing a very, very nice comeback from Team GG. You know, it was 8-4. They've won 3 rounds in a row, bringing it back to an 8-7. And right now, it just seems like GWTF are they're having a tough time trying to find an answer, right? I mean, if they want to push over onto B, they've got to answer. You got your Killjoy and you got your Sova. I mean, first of all, Sova, you get the information. Not to mention, it's an Odin. Second of all, Killjoy, you have the turret that gives you information and slows people down if they try to push out a B main. And if they try to push all the way through the lane or the alleyway, you've got your nanoswarms, your alarm bots all situated up on that area. I like to call that the oven.
Okay.
Because, you know, you try to go through it, you just get microwaved away.
If they get microwaved away, shouldn't it just be the microwave instead of the oven?
It's a microwave oven.
Oh, okay. All right, sorry.
Oven is easier. It's 2 syllables, all right?
Okay, noted. All right, done.
So, yeah. It's going to be tough. I mean, GWTF, B side is kind of secured that way. I mean, it's going to be tough for them to push through. They want to go past this site. They need to bait out the Killjoy to let her pop those nanoswarms so that they'll be able to secure safe passage onto the site.
Right.
Meanwhile, if they try to make their way onto A, I mean, it's so many different angles of on A side. It's such an open area. You really need to go in as a team out on this little site.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, resuming at, what time is it now? In 2 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
So, once again, this is the FSL Showdown. I mean, we're trying to encourage female gamers to compete more, trying to promote and create a safe space, really, for female gamers to try and come and compete. We want to see more women in esports after all. And this is one of the things, right? I mean, not you know, players like you and me from playing at home, we're not so used to these competitive rules. And we don't get timeouts in ranked or unrated. And you do over on competitive games because you kind of get, you know, connection issues here and there sometimes if you're playing online. But at the same time, you get to take a pause, take a breather, and really formulate strategies and start to think. And of course, there are time limits to these things, but right now it's going to be Ash who just goes right in with her ultimate. And this will give them a lot of space on the site. They might be able to get a spike down even.
Yeah, Makasi starting it off strong. Komochi goes down there. Right here, that shot from Makasi, that is. Here comes the spike planted. But, you know, this is one of those moments where you call a timeout to kind of just get everything back, right? You'd be like, oh my god, we just lost 5 rounds in a row. We need to kind of take a pause in the action, just get our heads back into this game.
Really putting a stop to GG's momentum right now. And they definitely did get caught off guard by Makasi and Ash. Just giving them the site now. I mean, you got like 30 seconds, 20 seconds left maybe on the clock as the spike continues to tick. Miss Machine clearing out the backside, but they're holding it entirely from B main. See, they don't even need to go there. They just need to make sure that they don't get the spike down, but they will be getting the kills as Makasi and Ash, the cleanup crew.
And it all started with the pause, let's be honest, right? And now they're back in. Sometimes you gotta like warm back up again in terms of hitting your shots. You're kind of in the flow, right? And sometimes you, like if somebody calls a long timeout, sometimes that happens, right? I'm pretty sure there was computer issues and spikes, and I think that Brimstone was talking about how she was having some issues. But nonetheless, this is one of those moments where it's just one round, yeah, but you know, it's one of those moments also where you need to just get back in the game, in the groove, just figure things out as quickly as possible.
That's absolutely
Get out
right,
of my
because
way.
right now, the momentum on GG's side has been stopped. Meanwhile, GWTF, they might be able to go on through carrying and riding this wave. Look at Ash. She just took down Nicole G with a simple peek and shoot. Oh, but Karina!
Shooting blind with the Odin. That's what, this is her specialty, right? When in doubt, but she did get a little shock dart damage on her, but it looks like that's not enough. The alarm bot, the nano swarm, just doing a lot of work, about half life in terms of Sexy Langy.
Now it's a 4v3. When in doubt, you just need to Odin it out sometimes, but this smoke allows Makasi to sneak on through, and that is the Odin out of the equation. Faith as well coming in with a headshot of her own, and now it's all up to Karina.
Spike planted.
All right, Komochi there, I've seen her do this twice. Right when she casts the Empress, she gets killed. So I feel like at this point, you just stop casting the Empress. Maybe you'll stop dying. I don't know.
Well, it looks like they're trying to find her. Oh!
All you need to do is see the head. See the top of the head. That's like the weakest part, right? Because that's apparently where the brain is.
Where else would the brain be? Oh, gosh.
Everybody's shooting blind here. The turret's going to scout it out. Doesn't get killed. Karina still in the market. She does die, and it's 10-7. GWTF. Is this the first upset of the day?
Very well might be. I mean, all thanks to that one little tactical pause. All of a sudden, the momentum is on GWTF's side. They've brought this back over winning 2 rounds in a row, and it's a 10-7.
10-7. But okay, in terms of economy, I mean, I'm thinking that they still had some money to kind of fight in, right? Like, looks like a bunch of stingers at this point, so this is a little worrying right now for Team GG.
It's a half buy, not to mention Nicole G bought up an operator in the last round, and it really didn't do much at all. Now it's all about holding these off angles and really playing it safe. If they give up just even a little bit of information, GWTF will be able to exploit that.
Rain is down.
You should
Reyna
run.
apparently got down. Ash, oh, and here we go. The lockdown is going to be used at the 2K to start already. So good, but she walks in, doesn't actually check that angle. Nicole makes her pay.
Still, though, she's going to get detained. Okay. What? I thought she dashed out of that.
She's frustrated. You can tell. You can tell she's frustrated by her fingers, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's gonna get knifed.
No!
Ah, she gets shot in the face. She tried to make a play. Makasi with a VM, and she paid with her life. And here we go. Here's the plan. It's 25 life.
Spike planted.
The alt chat is in action, but she's got the operator. She's got the cool-looking skin. Is there any way for her to clutch this one out?
Oh, it's certainly possible, but I wouldn't go with an operator in a 1v2 situation. She needs to nail her shots. She does have her knives, though. Let's see. She knows someone is by the door after it got activated. Oh, she actually went over to the other side, but I don't think she has enough time now. 20 seconds left on the clock. She goes for the peek, but Sexy Lanches just a little bit quicker.
You know, I was hoping for Nicole to clutch that one out. Just to be like, you know, this is karma.
Yeah, right?
Who are you? Why would you do that?
You trying to come up with a knife on me?
Oh, the disrespect. Oh, the disrespect. All right, but 11-7, you got to win this one. You cannot go to match point. You got to get the comeback going right now.
I want to start a poll in the chat right now. I mean, both teams, you know, for your information, are from the Philippines, right? Nicole G as well as Makasi. They're both Filipino players. So, I mean, who do you root for at this point? Is it? I know Team GG won the polls, but GWTF are showing up very, very well right now.
I like, you know, I'm always going to go with the underdog, right? So if somebody, you know, like Team GG coming in with a little bit, you know, a chip on their shoulder, so to speak, because, you know, they've got more fans or whatever. But it's all about just showing up, making sure that you're able to do this. Now, mind you, one team's going to go home, right? And unfortunately, right now, it's not looking great. As I say that, it's 4-4. Makasi's in hell is trying to wall bang or ceiling bang it. Getting shot here. Makasi with all the smoke. And it actually doesn't want any.
Things are looking very misty, but the smoke has dissipated. And look at this. Sexy Latches as well as ZXC Faith just playing it very, very well from Wine. And I don't think, even if Karena clears the site right now, she won't be able to get the spike off.
Yeah, there's no time. They got to bust through the door like Kool-Aid. They do. And do they get killed? They do. Both of them get killed. And they have no value going into the last round. And this is going to be it. 12-7 match point. Loser goes home.
Spike here.
It is going to take a miracle for GG to come back into this game. I mean,
Spike
do you
here.
call GG at this point?
No, because they didn't call it early like they said they were going to. Liars. We went into a third match. Who
Come
are
on,
these guys?
chat. Like, GG, hashtag GG Lang Malakas or something. My Tagalog is a little bit rusty, but I think that means just strong. It's like a cheer that they've got.
All right, okay. I thought you were making fun of my mom. I have no idea what Tagalog is. In terms of the like, I don't know any. So unfortunately, all I know is put a tank in a mall. That's the extension.
Whoa. Okay.
Nonetheless, it's 5-5, and it looks like they're going to go. Ash is the first one in. Karena's into the boat. The orbital strike does. Makasi gets the kill.
Right here.
Oh, wow.
Spectre,
The
Nikolchi's
nanoswarm killing 2. And they're looking to do this. The lockdown has been used defensively. They're 4 versus 2. They're going to have to back off here. Faith is completely backing up. Does have the spike, though.
It's the oven, dude. That's what I told you.
You said it was the microwave oven.
Oh, microwave oven. Same thing, but Ash
It
lurking in
rolls
this
off
corner.
my tongue. I don't know about you.
We got different tongues. Ash, though, still doing a lot of work. She does get one, turning it into a 2v3. Now she picks up another, effectively a 2v2, maybe even 2v1, as I think Sexy Lanches is a little bit low. Or is that Sabi Niani?
But Ash is the one. That's the target, right? The shock dart is going to be a little off the mark. The smoke is just going to kind of provide a little bit of cover, but it looks like Brim is going all the way
30
into
seconds
A.
left.
Ash is looking for some pickoffs on everybody and their mom right now is working over.
Last player standing.
Oh.
There they are.
Spike
Out to
planted.
Savignani. She's down to red health as well. Has to be very, very careful about this engagement right now. Here's the drop.
One
Gets the
enemy
kill on the
remaining.
Faith. It's going to be the long rotate all the
Oh.
way from Ash. Will she be able to get the defuse?
I don't think there's time. She's running as fast as she can. She's actually trying to do it, and she clutches this out! And yes, she got killed, but nonetheless, she got the round win. That's all you need, and Ash makes her pay, though. And it's 12-8. That was a monster round.
Keeping the Team GG dream alive. There will be no tanks in malls. You know, this is not. We're not learning Tagalog from Dota 2 chat right now.
Oh,
this
okay.
is Valorant. So, Team GG very much still in this game. We even have Karena back with an Odin.
This is back with the Odin. That's all you need, right? That's her her power piece, so to speak. I think that she's going to be in a good spot here. But all right, they need to get their heads in the game. They got to stop trying to throw it. They just need to be a little bit slower, take things methodical.
You can see right now they're kind of playing a guessing game as well. I mean, earlier GWTF tried to make a push over onto B side. That's where their plans were foiled thanks to the nanoswarms. Now the nanoswarms are situated on A site. So if they make a push, will they walk
Here.
right into those Molotovs?
It might be, but Komochi's got the lyric queued up. They want to go.
You should run.
Here it comes. Killjoy lockdown in play. The attackers are rushing, flooding onto the site. Oh, Komochi gets taken out from the off angle. And that's Makasi doing her thing. That's a double kill, a 3K. Looking for the fourth. Knives all the way, doesn't even need it. Pulls out the Phantom, gets the fourth. Give her the ace. She only has one knife left, needs to make it count. Sabi Niani, the lone survivor. She gets spotted. Oh!
They end it with an ace!
In your faces.
And GWTF, wow, they pull out the upset. They do it in style. They get the ace. And Makasi with the plays, with the one last knife and everything. Just, oh my gosh, wow, what a player. And Ash and Makasi, both those guys, both those top two, as you're seeing right now, 13-8. I don't know if my heart can take any more of this.
Would you say that Makasi is a heartbreaker?
I would say. Let me be doing the dad jokes, all right?
All right.
Nonetheless.
Oh, yeah.
What a great game. What a great game.
And that is the strength that a Jett has over a Killjoy, because she can just dash right over those nanoswarms and alarm bots. And of course, very, very nicely netting GWTF the win, 13/8.
Yeah, I mean, they're guaranteed money now. I mean, they just got in at least $100, and the sky is the limit at this point as they're going to move on. The next series is actually going to be between Team Mellow versus Team Flame. That's going to be coming up. But before we do, any final words before we go into a break? Any final words? No?
Any final words? I mean, it's GWTF. You know, they showed up very well over on Bind, and of course on Ascent as well. But for the next game, Team Mellow versus Team Flame, that's going to be one to watch out for. Of course, I know there are a lot of Kohaibi fans in Singapore. She's going to be playing for Team Mellow. Meanwhile, Flame with Heart Flame, that's going to be an interesting one as well, because it's she's, I think, an Indonesian player, and she has been showing up in the FSL Valorant Opens as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
All right, I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be coming up. This is the FSL Showdown powered by Intel and Yahoo. We will be right back.